nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Harden.
Present.
Councilman Bliss.
Here.
Councilwoman Scruggs. Councilwoman Evans.
Yes.
Councilwoman Matlock.
Here.
Councilwoman Davis. Councilman Sims.
Present.
Mayor Nikolic.
Present.
Director Clymer.
Present.
Director Thompson. Director Hava.
Here.
Chief Tapp.
Here.
Captain Freeman.
Here.
Chief Walker.
Here.
Engineer Jones.
Here.
Ms. Gaither.
Here. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, do we have any correspondence?
No, not for me.
Can we put that on? There's some legislation that we discussed during the work session that once the mayor came in, she would like to go on the agenda tonight, and so we're going to accommodate that, with council's permission. Mayor, you wanted 09, work session 9, is that correct?
Work session 9, that's relating to accepting the NOPEC grant.
12 and 13?
12 and 13, that's relating to the 2 hires in building. And I believe the engineer addressed all that he,
4, 6, and 8.
okay.
We already have those.
Okay. So
Okay.
yes, just 9, 12, and 13, please.
And 5,
And 5, thank you, Council.
Okay, now what's 5?
that's for senior grant, a grant from NOACA.
Okay. All right, that being said, Madam, we'll start with 5. Are there any questions before we put these on the agenda? May I have a motion to move 2026 work session 5 to tonight's agenda?
So moved.
May I have a second? Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Did you second Ms. Harden or Ms. Matlock?
Madam?
Okay.
All right. Roll call.
Councilwoman Harden.
Yes.
Councilman Bliss.
Yes.
Councilwoman Evans.
Yes.
Councilwoman Matlock.
Yes.
Councilman Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion passes.
Madam Clerk, would you make that 30 since we've already numbered the others? Is that
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
We already have a 30.
Oh,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. We don't. Well,
All right, the next one is work session 2026-12. And this is regarding the employment of Rodney Stevens. May I have a motion to add this to the agenda tonight?
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Bliss.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harden.
Yes,
Councilwoman Matlock.
Yes.
Councilwoman Evans.
Yes.
Motion passes.
that becomes 31, is that correct, Madam Clerk?
That is correct.
All right. And then finally, work session 2026-13. It's regarding the employment of and how do you pronounce it? I'm sorry, Laura. Mayor, how do you pronounce the last name?
Zerwinski?
Zelensky?
Sherwinski.
Okay, all right. If there's no questions, may I have a motion to move this to the agenda tonight?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Warren.
Yes.
Councilwoman Matlock.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harden.
Yes,
Councilman Bliss.
Yes.
Councilman Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion passes.
that becomes 32. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
There's also number 9 too, the mayor's.
You want 9?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what 9 is, Tom.
That's a NOPEC grant.
Okay, resolution, okay. May I have, this is for the NOPAC grant. May I have a motion to move work session 2026-9 to the agenda?
So moved.
Have a second?
I second it.
Roll call.
Councilman Sims.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Bliss.
Yes.
Councilwoman Harden.
Yes,
Councilwoman Matlock.
Yes.
Councilwoman Warren.
Yes.
becomes 33.
Yes.
Thank you. Are there any more? If not, we have the agenda for tonight completed. All right. Now Madam Clerk, you said we had no correspondence?
No, we do not.
I'm going to now call for departmental reports. He's here? This is Jim. I'm going to ask Council Person Sims to introduce the next guest speaker, please.
Good evening, residents. It's a pleasure to see each and one of your faces tonight. Today we have an organization that specializes in going into municipalities and helping them construct or renovate their buildings. I believe that council should start the process in this process because we manage the budget, and we also have the final say of each decision. Since I was young, I've always seen that our municipal buildings needed some type of work, and I believe that with Leopardo, we could start and begin a great process. So without further ado, I'll turn this over to Nate.
Thank you very much. Nathan Patrick with Leopardo, and with me I have Heather Duran.
Hello, Council. Thank you, Councilman Sims, for the invitation to speak today, and for the Council and Mayor for allowing us to give you this brief introduction to what we do. I am Heather Gray, the Partnership Executive for Leopardo Efficiency, and we've got Nate Patrick here, Director of Business Development. Nate has a background in project management, so he's a great liaison for our client communities, from understanding your needs and your facilities and what is particular to you, and bringing that to our engineering and design team. I personally have a background in municipal finance. I was a finance director in a city in Northwest Indiana who was facing a lot of struggles within their buildings and with their equipment. And Leopardo came in and really did a wonderful job of helping us improve all of our facilities, our infrastructure. We did $30 million worth of self-funded work, improved every single city-owned building during my time. So once my time at the city was done, I asked to join the team to share this program with other communities because I really believe in the value of it. So I'm very excited to be here today to show you what opportunities exist for you through this program. So Nate, if you want to go into our introduction to ESPC, which is Energy Savings Performance Contracting. Leopardo's approach to energy savings performance contracting is to take communities from your current state. We know you have challenges such as deferred maintenance, facilities that need repair, a lack of capital available to do everything within your budget. We know budget days are hard, there's staffing issues, there's always a new project on the horizon, and the revenue isn't coming in the way it used to. And there's also traditional spending challenges that municipalities face that the private sector doesn't face. So through this program, we've tried to comprehensively pool in different strategies to help you make an investment within your infrastructure that is self-funded. It has a guaranteed backed financing as well as guaranteed savings and results. And it has strategic purchasing methodologies that are taken from the private sector but deployed in a way that you can do so from a public standpoint. So Nate, if you want to go to the next slide. This is all done through Ohio Revised Code 717.02. And some of the key highlights of this program, I like to say that it's a three guaranteed promise. You have a guaranteed cost, so there are no change orders, which is huge for those of you who would have to pass budgets every time, understanding how project costs sometimes go up. This program prohibits any change orders driven by the contractor. There are guaranteed savings associated with it, working with a contractor who is able to do the full analysis. We come through and give you the savings that will be generated through the implementation of the improvements in the program. And there's also a guarantee on the performance of the equipment installations themselves. So this is all done through this legislation where the state recognized that municipalities across the state had challenges funding these improvements. And so they gave you this financing tool to take the dollars you're spending today in your budget and reinvest them in future infrastructure and benefit from those improvements today. Leopardo has an approach to doing this where we pulled in more than your traditional scope of work that you'll see in the ESPC. And in this next slide, Nate will show you why that's so important. Nate, you want to handle this one?
Yeah, so when we look at the spend of an overall community such as yours and say what type of implementations or improvements we can implement for you, we do an evaluation to say what is the payback of that investment. So that would be saying, what you're currently spending on lighting. If we were to upgrade with LED lighting, then your overall spend would there be a reduction. That upfront cost is typically paid back very quickly on something like lighting or building automation controls, because they have a big impact on your usage. One of the things that doesn't always make it into these projects would be something like roofs or building envelope, elevators. Those are high ticket items that have low energy reduction when we actually do those upgrades. But when we combine these and look at them through a comprehensive lens and really say what in total are we able to do for you, we can help utilize the long and the short-term paybacks to really get a better comprehensive payback throughout this program.
And some of the key things that you'll see in that quick payback section are really core methodologies to the Leopardo approach, looking at operational opportunities for savings, things like strategic procurement, things like renewable energy opportunities. Those are great things that we can do to really drive the savings in these programs to allow you to get more work done. So in the next couple of slides here, we're going to show you how some other communities have utilized this program. So some of the partner communities that we've worked with here in the state of Ohio, and I have to say, coming from the state of Indiana, your legislation is better than ours. It's much more flexible. It gives you the opportunity to really take advantage of this program. And the state has renewed this legislation and is expanded it every time. They've really stuck to that idea of giving you that tool to make these improvements as best you can. So here is the city of Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. So the project size was a little over $10 million, all self-funded, all through the energy savings performance contracting method. Their annual savings of $100,000 were used to finance the improvements to all of these different scope items. So you can see here, they had HVAC upgrades, building automation installations, their natatorium, which is a big community center with businesses inside it, had a complete mechanical upgrade. They actually had significant HVAC work on the top of the roof in the middle of the building that we had to utilize a massive crane to get down, and they just had no real way to fund this in a traditional method. This also included new doors, windows, other facade repairs, and lighting, and the procurement solutions, which again drove that project up. So this is one community in the state that utilized this program with us. One of our current ones that we're in construction right now, we're with the city of Cleveland, which is obviously a big city in this state. It has a lot of challenges, and they recognize that this program could help them address some of their issues they were having with their police departments. Their 5 police stations were in really poor conditions. I myself went on council tours to tour the facilities so the council could understand what the needs were. And understanding when you have a complicated, difficult job coming back to a facility where there's leaks, there's holes, there's just drainage issues. It makes you feel like you're not valued as an employee, and they're having a big problem retaining and attracting new police officers. So they've utilized this program to make the improvements within those facilities so they can bring that morale back to that community. So again, a lot of building upgrades, HVAC upgrades, exterior repairs. We're also doing solar. And those procurement solutions are going to fund a lot of this programming, and they're actually so happy with the work we're doing right now that they put out another RFQ to do the same project again with the fire stations to address the fire issues that they were having.
And I'd say, I think City of Cleveland did a really good job. I think they see the vision in the sense of not only taking something as simple as energy upgrades or something in like procurement, but they're taking those savings and they're actually utilizing them in a way that their public is going to see that. So their employees are getting that benefit. In that in turn, there's a trickle effect where that's an upgrade that the community sees.
Now that's a really good point, Dee, because of some of these police stations, one of them is where the public would go to report any issues or do certain filings. And the stairs were decaying, the handrails weren't functional, so those members of the community who needed that support to walk in the door weren't able to do so safely. So this is very, again, public-facing, but supporting your infrastructure with budget dollars you're spending today. And last but not least is the City of South Euclid. We partnered with them to upgrade about $6.5 million worth of scope in their community. A lot of HVAC upgrades, again, those building upgrades. This was during COVID time, so they had additional ARPA funds they wanted to put into the program to renovate how the security was functioning within their main building where the police station is also housed. Also utilize this for parking lot repairs. That we see is something that gets cut from capital projects very often because it's the last thing, but you know, it's a nuisance to the community who's trying to come and be proactive and within their community. So this is a great program to approach it. And again, community-facing buildings, public-facing buildings, and also impacting the residents and the staff to provide the services to the residents as needed. And again, all of this is done through dollars that you're spending today. So when we talk about things like HVAC upgrades, you know, if your HVAC units are old, aging, you're probably spending a lot of money on the energy usage, right? So it's not efficient, it's probably breaking and failing, so there's that maintenance cost, and it's just generally not running at the same you know, effectiveness as you would want it if it's something new. So this program allows you to say, if we were to replace this HVAC unit with one that's appropriately sized for how the building is being utilized today, that's more efficient, this would be what your savings are. We do that analysis with our in-house engineering team. We have to guarantee those savings. You are then allowed to use those savings to finance the improvements through this special legislation. Other really good benefits to this program from a financial standpoint, which I believe is truly a big driver, is it doesn't count against your net indebtedness, which means that you can reserve your bonding capacity for those fun projects, so community projects, those things that you need to or want to get done. The community doesn't always want to see you spend a ton of money on your facilities, but you still have to have operational facilities to provide those services to the residents. So this is a program specifically put in place by the state to allow you to take dollars you're spending today, really leverage them in a more efficient way to make the improvements, and through our procurement and operational savings, generate surplus savings that the city can, or village, excuse me, can use for their own needs in whatever manner they see fit. So that's really, let's go through some of these benefits here in addition.
So,
Nate, you wanna touch those?
yeah, obviously the financial benefits, so we talked about what would be next steps if you wanted to move forward. There's no cost feasibility study. That's where I come in and would speak to the team, say, what are your comfort issues? Get to know your village. First of all, I can say there's other examples of other cities and how they've used this. I don't believe or expect any of those examples to be specific to you. This is a unique community with unique residents, unique problems. And I definitely take the time to say, what are the things that are really important to you? Comfort issues can also be upgraded when there's energy savings with the right controls, with the right vision. There's no cost, or the guaranteed cost of savings is handled through the contract. There's no additional capital required. So this is a self-funding energy saving project. And it does obviously have promotes the financial transparency. We do take pride in the fact that we do work with your local labor force, because that's another thing. There's an influx. When you're saying I'm going to do a project like this, we want to make sure that's seen and local trades are seen as well. And then I think it's always important that the public understands what's happening in their community. We certainly like to say, you know, when you're taking a step forward, just say you're doing energy conservation measures, you're taking green steps, but you're also reinvesting in the community itself. And I think that's really the question. What are we doing to make it better tomorrow? Well, if we can take our current spend and help in upgrade and reduce our spend, that's, you know, an added benefit.
And I will also just point out, coming from that financial background, the transparency is such a huge benefit to this program. When I started, it was the city controller, which is the finance director in Indiana. My budget was so buried, we couldn't really understand what we were spending and where we could spend it more effectively. And going through this program allowed me to do the analysis and work with the Leopardo team to really get a better handle on our spending and then utilize that information to make better purchasing decisions. And that's really what's driving this program. But it's such a great ancillary benefit that promotes that fiscal responsibility in your community, that you could show residents that you are making these improvements in very creative, strategic ways. So Nate, as mentioned, the next step for this program would be to do what we call a no-cost feasibility study. So we would get some financial information from you, understand how you budget, what your spend is looking like, and then Nate and the team would come on site and do some site surveys, walk through, speak with your community leaders, understand where the challenges are and what we can do with this program. We would put this all together at a very high level review, basically saying, is there an opportunity here? And I'll tell you, I think there was only one time in my several years with Leopardo that we found a community that wasn't a good fit for. But we would come back to you and present the results and say, here's what you can do, here's where we see the potential savings to be and what that would fund in self-funded work. And if you wanted to move forward, we'll walk you through the next steps. So at this point, it's at a very high level. Does this make sense for your community? But we really appreciate the opportunity to come and share this with your team today. As I said, I believe in this program. I've seen it work for many, many communities, and I'm always grateful to share those experiences and hopefully have some interest from the new communities we meet in order to benefit your program. Any questions for us that we can answer?
How long has this been in existence?
This came into existence in Ohio, I believe, in the early 80s. It was actually originally brought for the school districts because they recognized that they had a lot of facilities that they had to maintain and not a lot of ways of driving revenue. So they later expanded it to include local governments and other nonprofits and have continued to expand that legislation to allow for that flexibility for communities and other nonprofits to take advantage of this program.
You mentioned repairs or renovations. Does it also include new construction?
There are ways in which to include it. The program itself, it's meant for renovation, but there are ways in which you can include some new construction. At the very least, our company does a tremendous amount of new builds, new construction. Leopardo Construction is part of our team. We build fire stations, hospitals, police stations every day. So we often have communities are considering, well, we want to build a new fire station instead of repairing the old one. We are able to give you that cost analysis of here's what it would take comparatively. We see a lot of communities who want to build new, but when the reality is where do those funds come from in order to do that? And maybe what looks like is very poor condition building needs just a little bit of love. So we're able to give you that information so you can make that educated decision how you want to move forward. Anything else?
Question, is this program limited to just facilities, buildings, or for instance, can we do like street lighting upgrades?
Street lighting can be included, yes, equipment. We've done fleet in the past. We've done renewable energy. We're actually doing a project near Indianapolis, Indiana, in a town called Speedway, where the Indianapolis 500 is held, where we're working with their wastewater treatment facility to capture biogas, which is what's flared when they treat the water at the plant, and turning it into clean energy to actually run the plant now. So there's all kinds of renewable energy we can pull into this, but yes, certainly street lights can be included as well. And we actually did that in my community. It's one of the things that even today, when the street lights go on, I see them and they're all the same color, and it makes me so proud.
Right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can things like, since you said renewable energy, can things like EV charging or solar be also included in this kind of program?
Absolutely. So in the city of Cleveland right now, we're putting solar on their police stations. We're working with communities who are trying to expand their EV fleet, so looking to implement charging stations and battery storage. That's usually a big problem is, well, we implement this renewable solution here, but it can't be applied unless you capture it and contain it in a battery. So yes, absolutely.
So combining clean energy through solar with EV charging and battery backup.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest issues, we've worked with communities who have tried to take that next step and have implemented solar programs before, but they neglected to assess the roof properly. And so you put a very critical, great asset on an asset that's failing. And so we've done programs where we've taken the solar off, we've stored it, we've replaced the roof, and we've reinstalled it, so that they preserve not only the building itself, but that asset that they invested in.
I just want to say real quick, I really appreciate the opportunity to hear this presentation, and I think it's definitely in line with council's thinking about operational efficiency and kind of future vision for the municipality. I particularly was interested in the case studies you presented. Great cities, we all know them. Oakwood Village, I would say, isn't a small municipality, it's a very small municipality. So in maybe some follow-up, it would be helpful to see some examples of municipalities of our size that maybe are taking advantage of the program. But I just wanted to thank you for coming out tonight, it was very informative, so.
Absolutely, and the example of Speedway, like I said, it's a small town, and we only touched their wastewater treatment. We didn't touch anything else, but now they want us to come back and look at everything else. So it can be done, and be happy to provide that to you. We do have a handout for you today that has a few case studies on there, and it has Nate's information, so we'll be happy to follow up with some additional information.
And then, for the walkthrough, stage, you list the items, so we're all here today, what you guys would need from us as council and as department heads.
Sure, so typically, actually, I'm gonna let Nate answer that one.
Yeah,
He's
so
usually doing our site visits.
Yeah, so typically what we will do is we'll meet with your financial team. And so we can do an assessment and see what type of that typical spend is, and so we can understand where those savings are and what we can identify. And then we also meet with your facilities team and do a site walk. I often like to just get a general sense of the team, like when we walk the buildings. Like I say, I ask about comfort, what do you notice? You know, talk about people that really know the building. Anybody at reception can tell you 90% of the problems, you know, what they hear. Those things are all the things we want to make sure we hone in to say that these are the areas we want to focus. But we'll work with you. So we've talked about meeting with finance, scheduling time with your team, and really just there to meet with them and introduce and so we can better understand the village.
And certainly because we were invited to come speak to the council today, usually we don't get to see the council until later in the process, but we would love to have feedback and input from you, what you're hearing from your residents and your leaders in the community of what should or could be addressed with this program. We're happy to take a look.
You kept using the word savings, so now, to just kind of bring it to the concept, you're based on the savings, that's the premise. Well, that's why it's back through the state.
Absolutely. And we have to guarantee that. And that's part of it why we're along for it with you. It's part of why it can be financed that way with the banks. They understand these programs and they're underwriting us as a company and our ability to fulfill that guarantee as much as they're underwriting you as a community and your ability to repay that financing loan.
But if the savings were not, if we were in a spot where the savings were not covering the cost of the project, Leopardo would be responsible for those savings.
We have to write you a shortfall check.
So that is truly where it's saying it's really what's your budget, what reduction that is, and then with your assistance, where are we going to use that to better make those improvements? How are we going to use our recommendations and our skills to make sure that those procurement, we've got strategy, we've got the right things in place so you can generate those savings and implement them.
I'm glad you mentioned that because in my mind, that's really the linch point is the structure of the deal and the long-term benefit for the village as well as the capability or guarantee to or another organization like that. So, yeah.
That's ingenious.
I've seen it work, so I truly mean it when I come up here and talk about it. I've seen it work and benefit my community, and I'm very proud of it there, and I love getting to give other communities that same success story. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak with you today. If there are any follow-up questions, we have the handouts that has Nate's information. I'll leave my cards up there as well. Please feel free to reach out with questions, or hopefully we'll be back soon to give you a feasibility study report.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we'll start with the department heads, and I think, Tommy, you want to start out on your report?
Sure, thank you, Madam President. One thing on that, session 5, that's the NOACA one, that's for senior van. We talked about during budget, it's a reimbursable 80-20 grant. So we have to buy the vehicle and then we get reimbursed 80% of it. That's basically the context of that one. And this one has to be a handicap vehicle per the contract. So it's got to have a wheelchair lift basically on this one. Secondly, I don't know who's all their accounts. I know you're involved in the banner.
Yes.
I talked to Mary a couple times. Mr. Clymer talked to our insurance company and they're basically okay with it. He said there's a couple little nuances that Mr. Clymer said he could handle when the time came with First Energy. And Other than that, we had to get a certified electrician. We have that in place, but the next thing with the paperwork we have to do is from you, we need a prototype picture, maybe of the banners you're gonna put up.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be all the different banners, but just basically what it is, so that they're not putting anything, political or anything else up there,
Oh,
they,
no.
yeah, but that's what they want, First Energy wants, and a picture of the hardware that we will attach to the pole with.
What was I gonna say about that there? Question, we were talking about like the telephone poles.
Yeah.
Can we utilize those telephone poles, or do we have to go through another company?
No, it just would be First Energy.
So First Energy, since the telephone poles are not obsolete, they're just hanging up the wires that's going across. Can we utilize, cause I was just looking, when you drive down, how far apart those light posts are, but in between it could be like a telephone pole. Can we put that bracket on those telephone
Yes.
poles? Okay, that's all I want to know. So that just gives me an idea of how many applications, once they submit them, how many applications we can utilize with the banners going down, Broadway. That was it.
Okay.
And, a couple other things, but this not, one is pertaining to that. Brian's not here today. I'm still looking at Miss Harris behind her home.
Yeah, I talked to her about 3 weeks ago, ran to her, but
Okay.
the contract, that last thing was a contract she thought she had,
She's,
but now she can't find
she
it.
can't find it, and she said it was in like maybe it was a meeting that council had when they actually put that center in. They sent her a letter and it stated that they would handle the back of her home, and
Yeah.
as you can see, it is open.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, I
if you have
understand,
a swimming
like-
pool and stuff, you don't want people.
and I went there once, I talked to just the receptionist there, but,
Right.
I'll go back there, but you can try to find it. I've never been privy to that letter,
Right.
that
Let me-
contract, but
let me
I'll go talk to the Veteran Center again.
and just see, because
And
there
see if they're willing
and
to.
if she has one, we have to have one somewhere here on file. But I was also looking at, when I'm looking at the TIFs in that area from the vet center. It's basically approximately, $2,000 in that TIF. Is it possible we could utilize some of that TIF, since it is going on their property, in order to put maybe some bushes up, something or whatever across
I
that
would think so,
area?
that would be law
However
director's
she has.
decision, that would be law director's jurisdiction and your guys' decision.
Okay, just look at it, it's
Right, but
only
the-
about, it's approximately like $2,000 that I've seen in a TIF. And if I can utilize some of that, since it's going across
That'd be fine, but
their way.
but if we have a contract and we can save that TIF money for another project, that'd be great, but.
No, I know if we can
Yeah.
find that
Yeah,
letter,
exactly.
that'd be fine,
That's
but
what I'm
I wanna
saying.
satisfy that
I hear
resident
you.
because of the fact, it has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
And they were promised that their backyards would be secluded from that parking
Yeah.
lot. And now, since I kinda look at it, it is bare. And them having a swimming pool, they have a family outing or
Yeah.
whatever, they're looking straight into a parking lot. And that center basically is for counseling of veterans or whatever, and I would not want, you
Yeah.
just don't know.
I was back there last year, I talked to
Yeah,
Mr.
for
Harris about
grandkids,
it,
anyone over there,
Yeah.
no, I want them.
and I think there's a good chance, even if we don't find the contract,
Yeah,
I
we're
think,
gonna try and find
I think
it.
the Veteran Center though,
I
I
think
got
so,
a
too.
feeling they would,
I'm quite sure, yeah.
well, let's whatever, so let's try to find a contract, if not, I'll talk to the Veteran Center, and then we can look at the TIF stuff.
Okay, that'd be fine, I'm just trying to bring it and keep it into light, because we do need to do something, and then honor what was
Yeah.
actually told to her when that center was put in. Okay.
All right, just lastly, with the weather changing, the hot, mix plants, just the ones we use, just opened up last Monday. And we passed quite a bit last week, almost every day, and, but their elevated chute, broke down Friday, so we couldn't get any, so, they're gonna be back open tomorrow probably, so we did most of the main roads, we still got finished Richmond Road, little bit, we did most of it. Buckthorn, we started, we knew Buckthorn's a project, it's, you know, it's not in that great of shape, but we did the same thing we're gonna do, this week, a few years ago, cleaned out all the bad spots. We started it today, we didn't finish it, we had to call it the rain and some other projects came up. But, we'll finish that and then we'll hot patch Buckthorn. And then we got the Oak Leaf Oval is in bad shape, we gotta do that, spend a lot of time there, then we'll start hitting all the side streets.
Is that gonna bother you when you cold patching that area with, Oak Leaf? With all those trailers, tractor trailers and stuff?
Oak Leaf Oval, that was
Crossing
kind
the
of
sunset.
worked on last year, Oak Leaf itself. Oak Leaf Oval is a cul-de-sac, a shorter street down there next to the transfer station. And, the other place is, you know, it's a smaller street, but it gets the semis parking there overnight all the time and sitting there and,
Right.
you know, it needs a lot of work, but
It needs
it's
a lot of work.
a shorter street,
Okay.
and that's all I have.
One more question.
Yes.
When is the first date that you're gonna start the rental of the dump truck for
This
Trash.
upcoming Friday,
upcoming Friday?
where, you know, we have a lot of people signed up already. We send out 2 every Friday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fire chief?
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I want to thank Tommy and the service department for coming out and helping us out at the fire station today. We had a hot water tank let go, and they came out and saved the property and less damage, and they got it fixed in a couple hours, so I can't thank them enough for helping us out. We placed our order for our extrication tools with the grant money we received. So within the next probably 3 to 4 weeks, we're gonna receive the equipment. Once the equipment comes in, we're gonna put on a demo one evening. We're gonna invite all council to come out and actually see how the equipment works and runs, so you can see what we got for the grant money. And, I'll put dates out for that once we know when the equipment are coming. I'd be happy to see all you come out and actually see the equipment run, so. I'm here for questions.
Chief, we still have a volunteer fireman's dependent board listed in some of our documentation. Does that still exist?
It does, it's through the state, and we do get occasional applications sent out through the state for people from the area that are interested in becoming a volunteer fireman. And we've contacted probably 6 in the last 6 months, and it's just none of them have never worked out for a job. They wanted to get into the fire service, we give them the credentials they need, have to go to paramedic school, and then they decide it's not for them. So it is kind of helping our recruiting, we have been getting applications to do that, but we have not been able to hire from that yet, so.
Okay.
So, it's kind of a state board thing, so we get applications from all over, but a lot of them are coming in from like Maple Heights, Bedford Heights residents. So if any of them are interested, at least we get to hear about it that way.
All right. Thank you, chief.
I wanna, can I get something? And I wanna thank you too. Friday night, 2 EMS came to my dad's house to take him to the hospital. If you could get them into a ambulance, then you are like 100% good. With him being 96 and my mom being 94, they helped out and they calmed them down so much and got him to that hospital. And he was, I'm telling you, he was thanking the doctors and saying, I'll do whatever you tell me. If you want me to stay, he would stay. He came home today.
Perfect.
All right.
I will pass that on. Thank you.
To all of my council people, I know we put inside of the newsletter numerous times about the addresses being visible, the numbers being visible on those mailboxes, okay? I think with a situation like that, it kind of like drawn on me that a lot of our seniors, they still don't realize how important that is to have those letters or numbers on their mailboxes. And I would like to I'm gonna try and find out if I can get something from, or some stores to donate us some fluorescent numbers so that we can go around and get them on, or maybe perhaps, Tommy, can we get anyone like in, if we hire or do a couple of summer hires for like our seniors or kids to go around to each address and see if it's visible on those mailboxes and make sure that those addresses are placed on the mailboxes. So in case there's an emergency, then they can find the house and make sure that person is treated immediately.
Yeah, that can be done.
Okay,
The
that'd be good.
numbers
We
are
can just
available.
get someone
If the
to
numbers are
just go
available, that
around.
can be done.
Okay. But again, thank you.
Absolutely, I'll pass it on.
Thank
you.
Please, please.
Only have a few things. I told you guys that our speed trailer was in the shop and it is getting out, or it's out already. We placed out on Tryon Road tomorrow. That's where we're gonna start it off, at Tryon, and then probably down at the Meadows. But if anybody has any areas where you think the cars are going too fast, just give me a call. We'll set it up. After we let it sit for a week at certain areas, slow people down. Our parking lot, if you haven't noticed, it is clearing out some of the vehicles that we had out there. We still probably got about 8 to 10 more, but I think we've gotten rid of probably about the same, about 10. Yeah, so it is cleaning up. Also, we've been having a lot of applications for solicitors, so just to let you guys know, all of them have been through Spectrum. So we probably will have at least 3 solicitors going door to door here soon. So just to let you guys know, if you do have a no solicitor sign, they will not come to your door. So if you do have one, put it out, or we can get you one from the police department. Okay, that's all. But they did put their application in. Everything looks good, and it probably will be approved this week sometime. Last thing, we've been dealing with a lot of dumping on North Lane. The officer's been investigating, and I think that we have come to a resolution that we will have, either it's gonna get cleaned up this week, or we'll have some charges pending this week. So a lot of tires been getting dumped in on North Lane at the end by the railroad track. So officers spoke with a couple people, and I think that will get it cleaned up this week sometime. Just to let you guys know. Any questions?
I have a question on North Lane in just a minute, but let's finish. Mary, you wanna go next, or you wanna do best for last?
Sure, I can go.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Oakwood. Thank you for coming this evening. First tonight, I would love to introduce my executive assistant, Lauren Reese.
Hello.
If you'd like to stand
Hi,
and.
everyone.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Lauren Reese. I'm happy to be working and supporting the mayor as she serves Oakwood Village, and I'm looking forward to all the events and the work that we do. So thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you can see in her hand, she has surveys. Our last town hall, one of the things that we did, we had everyone fill out surveys, just collecting information about 2 things: sidewalks and whether or not you wanted, what you'd like to see renovated in the main community center. So if you did not have an opportunity to attend the town hall and you'd like a survey, please raise your hand. She can give you one. Now, the goal is to collect about 500 surveys, so this is ongoing. We got quite a few, but we're gonna keep this going. This is an ongoing project, but the idea is to understand what you all wanna see, so fill out the survey. And one thing, we've been getting surveys back. If you check other, please put your other down. You can't check other and not write anything on the line. You need to know what other you're suggesting. So that's one point about the survey. So please get those back. You can turn them into Karen down at the rec center, or bring them up here to the village hall. Secondly, I wanted to follow up. There was some comments last week about the audit. The law director and I had a chance to follow up, and they told us exactly what had been reported, that they received the documents, and at this point, it's a waiting game. We will wait and see what the next steps are. Once they finish, there will be a report, also an exit interview, which all of council will be able to attend, as well as myself, and we'll go over those results. But we followed up, and it's exactly what you've heard. The audits, they have the documents, but right now we're waiting for them to finish the reports, and we will be having the exit interview when the reports are completed. Moving on to economic development, Team NEO is coming out for a site visit. This is a well-waited meeting. I've been trying to get them out for a while, but one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go around all the sites. Team NEO, they have a site which is available, so imagine it's like an Amazon for sites. You can go, investors all over the world can go on Team NEO and look for land. So our goal is getting more of our land onto this site or get a better understanding of what we can do on the land that's available. And this is all kind of a first step process, similar to the feasibility study that was mentioned in the presentation. And a first step for us to look at what we have and what we can do on it. So that's gonna be happening this week. Please mark your calendars. April 25th is Earth Day. Our annual Earth Day is happening. We will have our tree giveaway. Last year we gave away over 100 trees. You will be receiving, if you received a tree, you'll receive an email this week reminding you to take a picture of your tree and send it in. We'll be giving a prize to the person with the best grown tree. But we will be giving away 100 more trees this year. So show up to Earth Day and get your tree. It's first come, first serve. The only thing we ask is that you give us your information so next year we can email you about the next event. Also at Earth Day, we will be previewing our final climate action plan. Our partner here from Black Environmental Leaders, who's worked tirelessly with us on that. And this is a great presentation that we heard today because it definitely aligns with a lot of what we're doing in our climate action plan. So if you're able to come, this is a great opportunity to hear where we're going with our clean energy goals and everything in that department. There'll be tabling events, Black environmental leaders will be there, County Board of Health, there'll be fun for the kids. So there's a lot of things that's going on. So April 25th, last year we had a drum circle that showed up. We had reading with the kids, story time. Typically we have an EV car show, but the weather has been terrible. So we're gonna move the car show to the summertime. So we'll have a major car show in the summertime and it will be strictly for EVs. And that will be to educate you on EVs, and I've seen a lot of residents with EVs, so there'll be residents, owners there, as well as dealerships, so you can get a cross between someone who may be selling it to you and someone who's actually used the vehicle, so you can get some honest feedback. Moving on to the garden, I know it's been a long time coming, but the garden will open on May 16th. All gardeners who pre-register for a plot will get an email inviting them to our orientation at our partner Riddall. The orientation will be on site at Riddall. They have on Kinsman, they have a huge urban farm. The orientation will take place there. We intend to screen the documentary on Riddall Partners. It tells all about the starting of the farm. It tells all about introduction to gardening and things of that nature. So we really want to get our gardeners excited about our partners, who they are, and what they do and what they'll be doing in our community. Also, the County Board of Health has donated organic seeds, fruits and vegetables, so the gardeners will be getting free organic seeds, fruits and vegetables to begin their gardening. So once you get your email, you'll get more information about how to pay for your plot. No one has paid for a plot at this point, but when you get the email, you'll have all information about that. So very excited about getting that off the ground. Next, I wanted to point out, we did mention some legislation. This is very much in line with our goals and vision for the village, making sure we're taking opportunity to get all of the grant funds that we can. NOACA, NOPEC, these are grants that come up every year, but we have to be diligent in making sure we accept the funds because they're always there, but we have to be diligent in accepting the funds. And, thank you to council. We did a great job in getting those through. Again, this year, I'm going to present NatureWorks. NatureWorks is a grant that I presented for the last 2 years. This is a grant that will go towards improving our parks and recreation. Last year, we also applied to a Cleveland Foundation grant, which is partnered through NOPEC. We didn't get it last year, but we are on schedule to apply for that again. We're getting feedback on why we didn't make the cut. So this year, hopefully, we'll be in line to get something. But the goal is to continue to apply and to continue to get more and more dollars into the village that aren't coming from the general fund. Community connections. I'd like to give praise to Ms. Terrell here. One project through Community Connections, two seniors, they were teaching our soul food cooking class, and one a knitting class. And that was where seniors go into the community and teach something as volunteers. They're not getting paid, they volunteer their time to offer their skills. And Ms. Terrell here, she's part of our next project, launching in Central Elementary. It's a reading program that's going to be encouraging early literacy, meaningful conversations with parents, engaging parents to get out and read with their children, but instead of the kids coming to us, we will be going into Central. Our seniors, myself, will be going into Central and encouraging reading and encouraging early literacy. So that community connections is continuing, so hats off to you. Thank you for all you do, Ms. Terrell. Moving on. Oh, sorry. The Bedford Heights Resource Center. We did our first pickup last Friday. Thank you to Councilwoman Enid Thomas who arranged that pickup. She came through. Thank you very much, Oakwood residents who came and brought canned goods, non-perishable items. There were 2 huge boxes. So thank you for that. Continue to drop off all of your things there. We're accepting clothes, toiletries, things for kids, books, whatever you need. Drop it at the resource at the community center. And every 2nd and 4th Friday, Ms. Thomas will come and she'll pick it up and take it to the resource center for us. So continue to do that. We appreciate you all. Lastly, every last Wednesday of the month is a town hall. This month's town hall will be focused again on property taxes. We'll have a representative coming talking about how to challenge your valuation. So if you have a valuation of your property that you're not comfortable with, or you don't know why it's so high or why it's so, this is an opportunity to understand how to challenge that or what you can do, because I'm not sure many people understand that that's a possibility. So we'll have someone there talking about that, and also we'll discuss other financial business with the village. So please make sure you come out. That's the last Wednesday of this month, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
For the gardens, once you're taking the payments, how will we be notified?
So
It's
an
time to pay.
email. So it's an email, group email. So you'll be officially a part of the Oakwood Gardening Club, and then you will get the email. So the first email going out will just notify you of the orientation and the specifics about how to pay. So
Is council automatically on the email or no?
no, they're not. Only the people who prepaid for a plot.
So
Pre-registered, excuse me.
So if you haven't pre-registered, but you still want to plot, are they available?
Yes, right now we plotted out today. My pants are all wet at the bottom, thank you, Tommy. We're marching around out there. There is a lot of space. So, we're just starting to dig out. So we have at least 60. We only have 36 people that have signed up, but we wanted to reserve several gardens for the youth, maybe some of the youth that are in our reading program. The vet center also has, but there are plenty of space. Plenty of space. So if people are still interested.
Can I sign up through town?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone that wants a plot, just give a call to the main office and say, hey, I'm interested in a plot. Again, there are 2 sizes, 4x8 is a full plot, 4x4 is a small plot. So the gardening club will kick off. Oh, and there also, as a part of the garden, wanted this to be a surprise, but there will be a mural in the garden partnering with Bedford High School students, as well as a local resident artist, a Cleveland artist, who will be guiding those students to complete the mural. And the mural the high school students will complete a project of either Oakwood or Let's Grow Together, and the resident or I guess you call the resident artist, the main artist that's sort of guiding all of the younger artists, will help them complete the mural together. So as it is a community garden, there's many aspects of the community that's happening, but we will have a full unveiling of the garden, including the mural. Hopefully the mural will be done at the same time. If not, we'll have a separate revealing of the mural, but it's something I'm very excited about, and it'll make the space a lot more colorful and beautiful.
I'm glad there's plots available, because I want to get one too.
Anybody else? All right, thank you, Mayor. Law Director?
Thank you, Madam President. As you see, we have a boatload of legislation that has gotten drafted up over the last 3 weeks. But other than that, I'm happy to answer questions.
All right. You're all good.
No spoke the lawyer tonight.
No, it's all right. You're always good to finance director's not gonna be here?
He's on vacation.
All
He
right,
should be back tomorrow. If anyone has any questions, shoot him an email.
okay. Matt Jones?
Yes. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Just for a report, the only thing I have is a brief update on the project on Arbutus, which is delayed from last year. That project, I did speak to the contractor both yesterday and today. Approximate start date now is looking like middle of May, so that's when the work will begin out there. They're going to start with about a week or two worth of drainage work that has to occur before they can start reworking the pavement. The pavement actually that we'll be reusing the old pavement using a method called in-place pulverization, which is very similar to what was done on Lincolnville Road about 10 years ago. Very similar process. After that work is completed, where we basically take what's, the road's already crumbling, so we take advantage of the fact that there's asphalt out there, tear that up, compact it, and create a new base for the overlay that would happen on top of that. So that's that work will all be happening late May. Everything should be complete out there early June. I see we only have 5 members. Does that mean nothing's gonna pass as an
Let's
emergency?
go on first reading.
Okay.
Need one more.
So, I am not going to be able to attend the next meeting. I know I've moved 3 items to the agenda previously. I'm hoping that at a minimum, what was work session 4 and work session 6 can be moved forward in my absence at the next meeting. And then work session 8, that is the public information, public education item from Cuyahoga Soil and Water. I did mention, Mayor, I know that there's been communication between yourself and the individuals at Cuyahoga Soil and Water. Council President Harden, you had requested that I send that same information to council, which I can forward that to you, so you can basically see what you're getting for that $6,600 a year that they charge. Again, just to reiterate, that money is reimbursable under community cost share. Just so you can see what services they do provide, for that cost. So, with that, I'm open for any questions.
Anybody have any questions of the engineer? Okay, if not, let's have recreation. Ms. Gaither?
Thank you, Madam President. All the activities are up and running well. We're getting more participation. Food Bank is catching on. Had more people come out this time than the first time. We're looking forward to our next event, which is Senior Day, and that will be May the 20th. We're looking to take some of the seniors out to that event. When you mentioned the address, don't forget we do have youth in the community I Assist. They could take on that, looking at the addresses. Don't forget them. They're great. I've used them a couple of times. I have one of our residents. She's new to the village, and she came to me one day and told me she would like to bring something that I thought was very interesting to our community. I asked her if she would come in today and speak with you on behalf of what she would like to bring in. I thought she'd do a much better job, and she can answer the questions. So the green folder that's on your in front of you, she'll bring it to you, Ms. Satesh. You want to go ahead and present that?
Yes. Hello, members of council and residents. My name is Sasha Prasad. I am a new resident to Oakwood Village, and I am just so grateful to be here and see all the work that has gone before me. By happenstance, I happen to be connected with Miss Karen, and she needed a martial arts instructor. My husband and my children were just here, but thankfully my husband, who's been a martial artist since he was 3 years old, was like, I'm available. So we just started teaching martial arts. We believe that it was effective. It's effective for all children to know how to defend themselves without having to spend that ridiculous price every month just to learn how to defend themselves. So that's how we got connected. But recently, upon my time volunteering with a nonprofit who works within the greater Cleveland area called Inspire Hope, we learned about the food insecurity among our children. And it happened to be a brother and sister talking with each other, and we posed the question to the children all the time, so what are you guys gonna eat for dinner tonight? And they said, dinner? We don't eat dinner. And it just kind of hit us, wow, the food that we provide here at the program after school is the last meal that they'll have until the next day at 10:30 a.m., which is lunch. I was completely broken by that. I myself have come through food insecurity. I'm one of 6 siblings. It was really hard for my parents to provide for us all, but my parents worked their tail off to ensure that we lived in a good neighborhood, we had a good education, even though that meant sometimes not having our lights on, even though that meant sometimes not having food. So I was immediately brought back to the conversation I had had with my brother about the very same thing when I heard this brother and sister speaking. And I know some of you guys have heard the story. You know, there was a man who was stranded on an island, and a helicopter went by, and he said, no, God will help me. And the helicopter went on, and a boat came by, and he said, no, God's gonna help me. A tornado happened, a hurricane happened, and then the man got to heaven, and he said, God, why didn't you help me? And he said, well, I sent a helicopter and I sent a boat. I believe that as people who can see that our neighbor is struggling, it's up to us to meet that need. It's up to us to say to ourselves, well, what can I sacrifice? And for the past 2 months, because I'm very new to the program, volunteering, we have made over 400 meals for these students. What separates us from other hot meal programs is that every child eats at the program, but they also take a meal with them, as many as they need. And so this is securing not only just their meal then, but if they want to eat the later that night, or if they want to eat the next day, or even for their sibling. And what also separates what we're doing is that I'm a mom, and I'm a label reader as well. So it's really important to me to not have seed oils, which research has proven causes long-term effects on the health of our children. I currently am in remission for PCOS and insulin resistance because of how I was raised eating these seed oils. And I dare not feed them to my children. And I just felt the conviction that I need to ensure that these children are not just eating, but that they're eating nutrient-dense food. So we cook all of our meals with 0 preservatives, 0 food, 0 fillers and additives and seed oils. And this is just our conviction. So other than lowering the percentage of children who have no food, which by the way is 80,000 children in the greater Cleveland area, just a little over 80,000 children right now are experiencing this food insecurity. For more perspective, that's 1 in 4. So if you just count among this room, 1 in 4 children are not eating. And a lot of their parents are actually going through addiction. They're going through horrible things that we can't even imagine. At least what we can do is ensure that they are nourished, and that when they come back, they know because of the dignity and because of what we put into each meal that they are cared for. And I think that gives them hope. I think that inspires them to want to come to school and want to come to the program. A lot of the parents aren't even dropping their kids off to school. There are times where we'll follow up with the parents or the teachers, and we'll ask, hey, we haven't seen your child in a while, and they'll say, well, I haven't seen my student. I only saw them 3 times this year. This is an issue that's so dear to me, and being that we're literally within a minute from the rec center, I did ask Ms. Karen if it would be possible for us to be able to use the commercial kitchen. I don't know the state of, I don't know pretty much how that process will go, but we're willing to work with you with whatever. I just have a team of volunteers who dedicated these 3 hours in preparing these meals, and we need a sanitary environment. We need efficiency. So that's my need that I'm bringing today, and I hope you would consider it and remember how long-term this is. Not just, once again, the program that I'm currently volunteering at, but this is also the establishment of a nonprofit so that we can take on more schools and more communities in this area with children facing that same difficulty. Thank you. Any questions?
Well, Ms. Prasad, I would say, I mean, just in speaking about the garden, that's a close connection. The commercial kitchen and the garden are closely located.
Yeah.
By the way, we did move the location of the garden, but it is closely located. And as I mentioned to Councilwoman Warren, that there's plenty of plots. So, you know, we would love to, in any way, have some of the volunteers have several plots that we would give to you all to start growing, so you would have something to contribute to your meals.
Yeah, I was really excited hearing that because I'm a gardener myself. So I'm just learning a lot coming here, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you, Karen, for inviting me. Yeah, I'm a gardener myself, and that is a huge passion of mine. And that also brings a point that I almost forgot. Because we're packaging these meals, it's really important that we're not filling the landfill with more plastic. So we are also committed to using only compostable containers and utensils. So every time a meal is given, a belly is nourished, and the environment is saved just a little bit. So that's our passion as well, and I just love the clean energy idea. I love, that's what we're about. That's gonna ensure a better tomorrow for our children.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
And that will conclude our report.
Thank you. And the council, and the mayor, and the law director will consider your request, and you will get an answer. Okay, thank you. Any other questions of the young lady? Be there or not, all right. Let's maybe hear from the building department, please.
Thank you, Madam Counselor. We really don't have too much to report, just a couple of things. We have our new hires started. They're coming along nicely with the training. Big, huge help that both hires do come with experience. So the training is coming along smoothly. Also, with the homes that we had addressed about needing to come down, those letters have been drafted to be sent out, so that's coming along smoothly with the cooperation of Safe Hill and our law department coming together and having a successful meeting. And special kudos to the service department. They have put the structure of our enclosed, secure window and door counter. So we're just waiting for the window to come in for the last installment. And really, that's about it.
How many houses are coming on that list?
We're addressing 5 right now. But again, as I explained last time, it is a process. So the first step is sending out the notification letter to the homeowner.
How much was set aside, Mayor, for those demolitions?
If I recall correctly, 80,000.
That's just for one?
No,
Or is that
it
for
was
all
80,000, and I believe, Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong, that there was an assumption that it would be around 20 per house, but you thought that was a bit of an overestimate, is that right?
Yes.
So, that's what was set aside, but also, Mr. Walker was looking into a connection at the land bank.
Right, that's correct as well. And it has already been explained to me, each home will be at different price due to the size and due to the nature of the actual tear down of what's required. One house may be a little bit cheaper than the other. and vice versa.
We can talk about.
But, you know, the first thing is for us to address that we do the process of sending out the notification before we go to the next step. And we do, they do have a certain amount of time to respond before we go to the next step. So that's why it was so important to stress out, you know, these are procedures and steps that we have to follow.
Roland, when they tear down a home, do they take all of the debris away, or do they?
Yes.
Oh, cause I've seen some that just bury it.
We wouldn't allow that.
Thank you. That's just a question, cause I heard that, I was like,
If we don't see you.
that's different.
I'm sorry?
If we don't see you, you don't like.
I'm gonna be on site to do my final inspection along with Safe Bill.
Okay.
Alright, thank you, thank you.
One more question.
Oh, there's a question.
As far as your email pertaining to the car last week, was that handled?
Yes, service department, they were able to find a car for the building department, and they're working to have that car ready for the new hire.
It's all done, finished it today, working on everything, checking the brakes, oil change, everything they could do, one of the old police cars that was gonna be auctioned off. So, doing everything we gotta do. Everything was completed this afternoon. I called the company to put some decals on it, and that'll be ready.
Tommy, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
The mayor's car.
Yep.
Where is the mayor's car?
At the service garage.
Did they ever file a claim on the mayor's car to have the car taken into a car dealership? I mean, if you filed a claim on it because you said it was damaged.
No,
Right.
no, I mean, damage in what way?
First they said it was mold in it, then they said it was something else. I mean, if they
Mold was
filed-
all we knew, and we took it to we didn't take it, but we got taken to a detail shop twice up on the corner, didn't do anything, but one of the gentlemen that works for us, he worked for a car dealership, and he knew a company that specialized in that. He came out and fixed it, lickety split.
Okay, so basically right now,
It runs pretty
it
well.
runs, so basically right now, can we have the decals put on that car and parked up to the city hall? It don't need to be sitting, where is it sitting at now?
Yeah, service garage.
Okay, can we have decals put on the car and put it back into service? Anyone can use it,
Yeah, the
official
department
can
can
use
use
it,
the car.
wherever.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
the
mean,
mayor's
yeah.
not, you know. Is that fine with you, Mayor?
We can discuss it. We can discuss it. I don't see there's any I mean, the car is huge. I mean, gas is very expensive now. Isn't it like a?
But it's no
Suburban.
sense of a car sitting on, it's no sense of a car,
Yeah, we were
and if
gonna-
I'm not mistaken, is a 2021.
We were either gonna put it in service or auction it off, one or the other, but we're gonna put it in service.
But why would we auction it off if we are in need of these vehicles? Well, I'm not understand, well, just make me understand. We have a 2021 car
Mhm.
that is new. How many miles is on that car?
Just under 60, I believe.
Under 60, my God. So we divide how many miles, that car wasn't even 10,000 miles per year, am I correct?
Yeah.
My question would be, we're using an old police car that was gonna be auctioned off. How come we cannot put that car, put a decal back on that car, that is Oakwood, and put it into an area, bring it back up to the city, it don't matter, but it would be used as a city vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, that's
I
fine.
mean, that's all,
That was the
that's
plan.
all I'm asking.
Yeah, that could have been used instead of the police car, but,
I'm just,
the
that's all
building
I'm
department
asking.
would rather have a light colored car. They wanted rather a light colored car.
Okay.
I think they were worried about the mold, because you would say the word mold, but that,
But
I
if, like,
understand
before,
that, but that's been
Right.
corrected. Yeah.
if the mold was treated correctly, and I'm questioning about, if the mold was treated correctly, had they have taken it to, or if it was mold, they should have filed a claim on that car and had that car removed and taken to a dealership. The dealership has the resources, or they could have done it with the claim to replace everything in that car that was needed.
Nothing was needed to be replaced.
Okay, so that means it couldn't have been,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that was all. I just wanted to know, there's no sense of a car just sitting somewhere. When a car is idle, you know things start happening to it. Meaning this, it don't run correctly. Things start failing on it. And that's a 2021 vehicle that the mayor drove less than 10,000 miles per year. And I'm quite sure the car is paid off. Correct?
Yeah, I'm just about sure. I don't deal with that, but I'm just about sure, yes.
Exactly. So there's no sense of a car just being there, not being utilized. I'm just saying, just put the Oakwood decals on it and put it into function.
I wanna get this understood. Is it required by law or charter or ordinance to have decals on government vehicles owned by the village?
Yes, with some exceptions.
What's the exceptions?
Yeah. I know the last time we went down and that this came up, the mayor and the police chief they were granted an exception.
I think the detectives, for obvious reasons.
The detective, yeah, detective, but that's.
So-
Just the detectives.
So law enforcement is the only exception.
It was the police chief and the mayor, and the detective, like he says, but the police chief and the mayor at that time.
Any other questions? Any other questions? No, okay. All right, we have council reports. Is there any reports from council by ward?
None from Ward 2 at this time.
And I think Ward 2 put out a newsletter this past week, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
All right, and everybody put out a
And
newsletter. Okay,
all Ward 1.
thank you so much.
One second.
Yes, sir.
I do wanna bring this up again, we do have our YouTube channel. We need about 50 subscribers to start live streaming our meetings so that individuals that can't make it to our meetings are able to view it at home or at work or wherever they're at. That,
Tonight, sign up.
yeah, it'll be on the flyer that's going out. I'm sure it'll get to you guys later next week or later this week. And I can also tell you what that YouTube channel is as well. It's called Oakwood Village Ohio Council. If you can share that with other residents and subscribe to that, I would appreciate that, along with council. Thank you.
Also, our next charter meeting, public charter meeting, if you have any questions or concerns, the law director, not Jim, but another attorney will be there, Sam O'Leary, to address any legal questions, and council members will be there as well. And the next one is Thursday, April 23rd at 6:30 p.m. here in council chamber.
There is no next one, we never had one, so it would be the first one. Am I correct? Thank you.
April 23rd is the next meeting. And the next one is the next following Thursday. And then there is one the following, it looks like it was Saturday. It is all going to be mentioned inside of the Afro. We put out a new little booklet now for everyone to read. I think it'll be more tangible, people can see it, it's not going into a little yellow envelope. We're having it mailed out from a printing company, so you'll actually can go in and read and see what's going on, all the legislation that has been passed, everything is in that booklet, and look for more information in it once it gets going. I think we're planning on doing it at least 4 times a year, so that'll be once every quarter. We'll have that mailed out to you, and it's gonna come via the mail in a book form. So now you can take it and look at it and read it and drink your coffee with it and see what's going on in Oakwood. Okay, versus our yellow envelope with us, and then people just don't know.
All right, we have committee reports. Any community reports? All right,
Just one,
you have one?
just one.
What committee are you reporting on?
With, energy.
All right.
I'm getting in with the NOPEC, one of the NOPEC, directors. We are going to try and move a meeting into place for the residents, so they can understand how to read their actual energy bills. Right now, with all this going on in Iran, you know, the gas is going up, electric is going up, and I'm finding out that a lot of residents can be on a variable comparison plan, which makes it so that every month, your electric bill and gas bill could be sky high versus a fixed rate, okay? Which will lock you in just like if you were to, like your house note. If you got 6%, if you have a 6% mortgage rate, then it will not increase. But if you have a gas rate that is 4%, 5%, and is fixed, it shouldn't increase. You should still get your gas and still have a 5% rate. But if it's variable and it goes up high, then you would end up paying a higher gas or light bill. So we just want residents just to understand how to read their utility bills. And we are with NOPEC. So we wanna make sure that our residents, okay, are using NOPEC. Since the community is on that, maybe that'll give you like your lower rates, okay? So it's just something that we need to have a conversation with all this is going on now across the world, and we have all this energy prices that be going up, whatever. I know if you haven't seen your gas bill lately, it has increased. Okay, when you get a $500 gas bill, you was like, oh my gosh, okay? Or $300 electric bill, that's how, I mean, versus what you normally get. It's expensive, and some people can't pay it, okay? So this right here would just give them an opportunity to look at it and just make some decisions, okay?
Okay. Any other questions or input from council? Okay, that being said, we want to open the floor for public comment. Could you limit your comments to 5 minutes?
Hi, everybody.
Could you state your name?
Hi, my name is Donna. I live in Ward 1. So I want to put my hands on the thing today because I haven't done public speaking in a long time. And I noticed the last time I public spoke. First, I'm going to keep my hands down. And so, well, one quick question I got, and I think I probably should address it to the lawyer, because I just want to kind of find out where we are as a community concerning the board seats and the appointees and the seats that, what happened with the Ward 5 situation and that.
I have not been involved with that lately or with the people who have been contesting that seat, so I don't know what the intentions are.
Okay, does anybody know? Okay, so here's another point I just wanna bring up. So, and I don't know if this is a situation where, like, this is Ward 5 issue, and so now it's like, maybe it's not on the table anymore, so nobody knows where it is, but, so again, nobody knows where that is, like, it was at one point being disputed, Ward 5 selection and how it was done, and was it fair, so none of that is a point anymore?
I can address it. It's still in discussion.
Okay.
At this point, the extent to what's happening is not for public discussion, but it is still in discussion.
Okay. Why everybody could have just stayed in their seats from the beginning, even though, of course, the whole charter thing caused it. I understand. But I just think that next time there's a charter thing, I'm gonna try to be on it, cause I just wanna kinda make things make sense.
See, the reason for all of the movement that you saw was that in order to run for another office in Oakwood, the charter provides that you have to resign from your present office before you file your nominating petition. And so because several council people wanted to run for the open mayoral seat, that turned into sort of a musical chairs and made my life very, very busy.
Yeah.
With
And I think it did for the residents as well. Because as a resident, I was like really disappointed in the fact that I had to go to the polls on January the 6th to begin with, because it was a very traumatic day in America, January the 6th itself. So that kind of rubbed me, you know, the wrong way. And then the fact that, like, God bless and rest our mayor's soul. But I just thought that 4 months was just a short amount of time to give residents the opportunity to even completely mourn the loss of our mayor. And I don't know if anybody ever thought about that when it came to the charter, the council. I don't know if anybody ever thought about the fact that we were accustomed to the same mayor for 30 years. And to have to elect a new one in 4 months, to me, it just didn't sit well. And I really think that was a cause of why we had such low voter turnout, actually. And I even met residents who said, the mayor's gone, he's passed away. And I mean, you know, with that 4 month period was just a short amount of time. And again, I started out sitting on the charter meetings like early on, but I left. But now I just wish I had stayed on. Because again, and I'm gonna sit down. But the whole charter thing, like even at this point, I just wanna ask you guys, could we just take a break from the special meetings and the council changes and the charter changes after we're done with May the 5th? If we could, but I'll be on the team. I'll make sure I'm on the team next time. So if we have to, if we can't, at least I'll be there to have a voice. But yeah, that's just it. Just kind of wondered if maybe we can just take a break and give us some more time to mourn the loss of our wonderful mayor. Thank you.
I didn't want to get up that fast, but I tell you one thing. How y'all doing today? I can't hardly get up that fast, but that's right. But you know what? At least did I get up? How y'all doing, Mayor? You look very good, very good. All you guys look good over here. What y'all doing? Tell me what happened here.
Spending the night up here.
Yeah, you know, I believe y'all are. Y'all, when I call you, you're always up here. And you get anything done, that's the thing. Hey, young fella, what's your name?
Malcolm Sims.
Malcolm?
Malcolm Sims Jr.
Sim Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. My name is Mr. Jackson. Did you know that?
Yes, Mr. Jackson.
You know that, all right.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, young lady?
Good, I'm here.
That's great. Give me your hand. This is one of my favorite ladies here. I done heard a lot going on today. I came in the middle of this, whatever you talk about, that young man back there. When they were talking to the lady, I came in the middle of all this stuff. You know what y'all know what I'm about to say? Cause I gotta stick with what I say. But I'm not happy. Mr. Jackson's not happy today. I usually come in here laughing and joking but when I joke, I don't be playing. I be meaning what I say. But I don't want you to think that when it sounds like I'm joking that I don't mean it. We talk about a lot of things. You know we should have, you do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
We should have a chalkboard right here. There's somewhere in this building, have a chalkboard. And put all the councils on it, all the police on it, and yourself. And when we come in here, you know what we should do? If we approve of what you're doing, we should put an X, You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a good idea. Because I guarantee you might have a lot of exes going on. Okay? Look at here. I'm old school. Let me say one thing, young man. What you say your name again? America? You said something about putting stuff on the internet. That's what you said?
Yes, sir.
See, how old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
Oh my God. He's a baby. Still a baby. I don't agree with that at all. I'm telling you, I don't agree with it. The more internet we have, the lazier we get. We already lazy already. We're some of the lazy human beings on earth. I'm gonna tell you, I don't like it because if you put that on internet, you ain't gonna have nobody in here. I mean, you can't make it too easy for people. It's ridiculous. Come on now, let's get together sometime. I said, I wasn't coming tonight, but I said, you know what, I got to go see what they're talking about down there, but they always talking and nothing happening. That's what I said. Now, I'm going to say it again. I've been saying this all my life since I've been out here. Cleanness. Cleanness. How many of y'all hear me when I'm talking out here? What I'm talking about most of the time? Garbage. Clean this stuff up.
Yes.
Now, city council, y'all get on y'all too. You can look at me. Well, I don't care. I don't care. Let's see here. The building department in Cleveland and ODOT should know your name by now. That's you too. What's your name? I know you a little bit, just slightly. But it doesn't matter to me. I don't care who you are. Do your job. I always express that, don't I? Do your sacred job. Put a board up there, man. Put a board up there. I'm telling you, do it. You're going to have a resource. Put your name up there too on top. Have a big space for you. So if you real bad, you gonna get all of them fill out. Man, this is crazy. We're down here talking about internet, billinet, all this kind of crap. Let's talk to each other. What I want to see you council do. Raise your hand, council. All y'all council, raise your hand. Don't be raising your hand that slow. Are you having a meeting, council? Do this. Are you council?
Yes, sir.
Raise your hand in.
Got 1 minute, Mr. Jackson.
No. Look, I'm a very neat person. Only time I ain't neat is if I'm sick. You can't be neat when you don't feel good, can you? It's hard to do it. You can't have a function when you don't feel good. Ain't that right? But when you feel good, we should do stuff. We shouldn't have garbage. We shouldn't have. I looked at I was riding down the street today. I was riding down the street because this neighborhood is so small. I could almost walk this neighborhood in an hour. Ain't no excuse for it. There's no excuse. Stop it. What we do here is important, but not that important. This is a little city. We can't make it look like Shaker Heights up. I'm old school. Let me say one thing, young man. What you say your name again? America? You said something about putting stuff on the internet. That's what you said?
Yes, sir.
See, how old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
Oh my God. He's a baby. Still a baby. I don't agree with that at all. I'm telling you, I don't agree with it. The more internet we have, the lazier we get. We're already lazy already. We're some of the lazy human beings on earth. I'm gonna tell you, I don't like it because if you put that on internet, you ain't gonna have nobody in here. I mean, you can't make it too easy for people. It's ridiculous. Come on now, let's get together sometime. I said, I wasn't coming tonight, but I said, you know what, I got to go see what they're talking about down there, because they always talking and nothing happening. That's what I said. Now, I'm going to say it again. I've been saying this all my life since I've been out here. Cleanness. Cleanness. How many of y'all hear me when I'm talking out here? What I'm talking about most of the time? Garbage. Clean this stuff up.
Yes.
Now, city council, y'all can get on y'all too. You can look at me. Well, I don't care. I don't care. Who's here? The building department in Cleveland and ODOT should know your name by now. That's you too. What's your name? I said, I know you a little bit, just slightly. But it doesn't matter to me. I don't care who you are. Do your job. I always press that button. Do your fucking job. Put a board up there, man. Put a board up there. I'm telling you, do it. You will have a resource. Put your name up there too on top. Have a big space for you. So if you real bad, you gonna get all of them fill out. Man, this is crazy. We're down here talking about internet, internet, all this kind of crap. Let's talk to each other. What I want to see you counsel do, raise your hand, counsel. All y'all counsel, raise your hand. Don't be raising your hand that slow. Are you having to be the counsel? Do this. Are you counsel?
Yes, sir.
Raise your hand then. No. Look, I'm a very neat person. Only time I ain't neat is when if I'm sick. You can't be neat when you don't feel good, can you? It's hard to do it. You can't have a function when you don't feel good. Ain't that right? But when you feel good, we should do stuff. We shouldn't have garbage. We shouldn't have. I looked at myself. I was riding down the street today. I was riding down the street because this neighborhood's so small. I could almost walk this neighborhood in an hour. Ain't no excuse for it. There's no excuse. Stop it. What we do here is important, but not that important. This is a little city. We can't make it look like Shaker Heights or Cleveland Heights. This is a little bitty. We can put everybody in a big Austin in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? This is a neighborhood. Come on. Y'all just make me mad sometimes. I'm not pissed. Now you gotta go. What I want to see, you do this for real now. I'm telling you, do that more. You get some result. When I'm coming home, I've been saying this all the time when I come down here. We got the dirtiest interstate in the world in our house. In the world! You ever came out of the interstate?
Yes, sir.
How it look? Huh?
It needs some work.
Needs some work?
Yes, sir.
What are you talking about? Man, we could get a whole garbage truck and can't stick that stuff on that interstate. It's ridiculous. What is that road that Mr. Howard, how you doing, Mr. Howard? I gotta give Mr. Howard one thing. He do his job. Do your job. You keep doing your job, I want to get on you. If I have to, I will. But look, our interstate is horrible. That in no sense, and we keep coming home on the exit, and we got paper everywhere, bottles, tires. It's crazy. Can y'all start doing something about it? Because somebody come again. You think I'm talking now?
Mr.
Y'all
Jackson,
heard me say, you
Mr.
professor?
Jackson, we knew you were coming tonight. You know why?
Why?
We saw what you saw. If I'm lying, hoping to get
I don't hear.
You don't want to hear.
Did you do anything about it?
Did we not call?
Who y'all call? Or not?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
So why don't we just
Oh,
get some
boy.
volunteers out there to clean the highway?
Y'all call ODOT?
Yes.
I mean, we do have.
Hey, put the board up to the, put that mark that go like that. Check mark. Check for you guys. But you know what? In the past, you get an X. You didn't do nothing in the past. Stop it. Because I'm finna really get down now.
Mr. Hobbs, those trucks that's coming in from waste management, when they're driving, coming into from those directions, are they, some of that trash is blowing up off of those trucks? Is there any way?
Excuse me, counsel. You taking my spot. Hold it. Yeah. You take my spot. Hold it.
We just trying to get some solutions.
That's what I'm finna say. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care. Do y'all care? Get it up.
It's not where it's coming
We
from.
don't name where it comes from. I don't give a
Do
who.
waste management have someone that can clean that? Do they actually
That's
go
good.
out along that line?
Roland?
clean it up?
They do at times. I called ODOT myself about, what was it, maybe about 10 days ago probably. I called them, District 12, and they said they would come out. But waste management, you do see every garbage truck, you see a paper bag fall out and stuff. You see.
It's a couple of times every now and then, a couple of times. Look at here. Hey, guys, I ain't gonna talk long. But you know, a lot of us talk. When we get in the meetings, let me tell you what we do, a lot of us. We talk about things that personally happen to us. I don't do that. I talk about my neighborhood. I live in this neighborhood. You don't never give me the, my house has a roof that broke, a pipe that broke. This is the neighborhood where we live at. If your doggone property ain't going up all the time by living, you are stagnant. You can't keep, when I come down, if I had to move again in this neighborhood, it wouldn't happen. It ain't clean enough for me. We got garbage cans. I want them to put them up, sit down. Because I can talk all day long. Who that said that? Oh. But listen here. I was going down through the neighborhood today, and I saw garbage, here's a garbage can right here. I saw garbage can that high above the garbage can. They shouldn't pick it up. Mr. Harper, I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble. But you got to call them people and say, don't pick it up. Let it stay there. You know what, let me tell you about hard-headed people like a lot of our people. These people are here. If you keep on catering to them, they'll keep doing the same thing. When you had kids coming up, did you whoop their rump? Who whooped their kids? You don't want to whoop your kids? Well, you didn't raise your hand.
Yeah,
I did. You did like, yeah. You raised the door and hand like this. I whooped mine bad. Bad. Yeah, I did. I don't care if they call looking at me. Like I care.
Statute of limitations, you can go.
I don't care about that.
All right, Mr. Jackson, wrap it up then.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
I got another 5 minutes. Okay, I'm about to quit. But I want y'all to stop thinking I'm being so funny all the time.
No, you're not.
I'm serious. Stop it. Let me see something done. Let me hear them people say, call down the old doctor and ask me to know John Jackson. Call him. Yeah, I know him. Oh, I know him. Look, they gonna do that. Yeah, I know him. Oh, I know him.
I worked with you over 20 years.
That's right.
I would rather work with him than anybody on the job. He was
Thanks,
on.
man.
He was on. Got a lot done, didn't he?
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Amen.
All right.
Let's do our jobs. Because when I come in next time, oh boy. If I make it next time. If I make it next time.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
I bet y'all be glad to be sitting out there. See, don't forget that, man. Sometimes you get you young for the junk. All this junk going over here, take the old school way a little bit. Okay? You don't need to be on the internet every time. Matter of fact, the internet is about to close itself down slowly. I'm telling you. Slowly doing it. Look at it. She kind of coming down up here.
Mr. Jackson, the young man would like to respond to you, sir.
Go ahead.
As far as the internet, we need to separate laziness
Go ahead.
from giving the benefit of our residents. My primary goal when sitting in the seat is to make sure that our residents are informed. This is why we are getting YouTube. And if you go to different municipalities, they have live streaming and other things to, it's called giving out into different forums, whether it's a newspaper, a social media, live stream. It's just different ways to communicate with people so that everyone's informed.
You know what? I appreciate that. You know what? You telling me something flying by my ear. I don't know anything about that stuff. Nothing. I don't want to know nothing.
Do you see the plain deal?
Plain deal. That's what I want. I still want that. You know that? They still got that, don't they?
No,
They don't have a price.
they make good 2 papers out.
I appreciate that, man. But no, you making people lazy. Today, we are ordering our food. We don't even cook no more. Come on, man. This mess ain't good for you. It's not good. That garden is a good thing, though. I like that garden thing. You got this white way?
Yes.
I'm not gonna pay, but you got one? Huh? In your face? Right now, I'm serious, y'all. I might be laughing, but I'm serious. Let me go home to my wife, because she's like, don't they down there act a fool? Yeah. Like I care.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, y'all have a good day.
Butler, would you take the floor?
Hello, my name is Bernice Butler. I live on Bainbrook Drive.
and I've been living here since 1970. I have two issues I want to address tonight, and I'll follow Mr. Jackson on the garbage situation. Mr. Haba, you know what I'm gonna say. It doesn't make sense for me that as a community, we put our garbage out at 7 o'clock in the morning, and today is a prime example. I came back home at 4:30. All those garbage cans were still sitting here. And like Mr. Jackson was saying, some of them are open with things all over the top. Now, do we need a new contract, Mr. Haba? This has been too long now.
Yeah.
Where do those guys go? Do they go to other communities before they come to ours?
Not usually, but they can sometimes.
When I was younger, I used to leave here at 6 a.m. in the morning and go all the way down to the clinic. And if I was young today and I had to have my garbage can out before I left at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I came back at 4:30 and it would still be sitting there, I would be so upset. So upset. And it's not fair.
It's not.
You worked your butt off for 8 to 12 hours and you gotta come home now dealing with garbage still sitting there. Are we able to negotiate a new contract
Not at this time.
to have them come and do ours early?
No, but we've asked them many times over the years to try to keep the same schedule. So if
Yes,
they come at
please. We
7
need
o'clock
that.
on this street, fine. If they come on at 3 o'clock on this street, fine, but try to keep
Yes.
it the same so people know. But it's not always possible, but I think they do try to do that, but they're not always successful. with
They've
that.
not been real good in the
Yeah.
past few months. Haven't been good at all.
Ms. Butler,
So we need help.
could I take a little of your spot a little bit back?
No.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. Come on, Ms. Butler. You know I was right over your house the other day now, you know that?
Yes, I know. So we need
Let
help, we
Ms.
need
Butler
help.
finish so we can get back to
And,
order, please.
and I know when I call Mr. Hollow, send somebody out to help, guys out to help me with, I shouldn't have to be doing that. Bothering his guys, they worked all day long to come and help with that. So that's number one. Number two is, I live on Lynbrook Drive. Behind my house, there's a ravine. Up on Richmond Road. We were on Lynbrook before they even built the houses up on Richmond Road. That ravine now is nothing but a garbage dump. And all that water is coming over in our yards. You know this. I get as much as I can out of there, but I'm tired of being in garbage all the time.
We'll try to help you get there.
They cut
with
their
that.
trees down to pieces and they just let them flow down
Yeah.
toward us.
We can't
They're
do it
higher
like
than
that.
us. They're higher than us.
But we'll clean it out for you.
I can't,
Yeah.
I've tried it, I go up and talk to them sometimes, but it's not safe. I'm 81 years old, can you imagine me going to your door and saying, get that garbage out of there? I can't do that, Mr. Holler. So I need your help.
Give us a call. We'll go out there again and clean up
The
any
water
trash
is
and we'll
coming into our yard.
try to trench it.
We
once
try to
again.
keep our yards nice back there so that when they look down, it's clean. But there's paper, there are plastic bags, all kinds of things that are just rolling down in there. And I can't do it anymore. And I don't have the money to pay for someone to do it anymore. So we need your help. Anything you can do.
Ms. Butler,
Yes, ma'am.
at the previous session, the engineer can tell you what occurred. Your property was discussed,
Mhm.
and there will be someone to come
Oh,
out.
thank you so much. I appreciate that so much.
Am I correct?
That relieves me so much.
There's nothing, the question is, what, I thought it should be dug out, as I see it.
And make it deeper so that the
Make it
water
deeper
flows
so it can
down.
flow.
Yes.
But the engineer, we talked about it before you came, they're gonna verify with the law director if there is an easement that will allow what I think should happen. In other words, they're gonna look in, we done, every year we do this thing.
Yes, every year.
Every year.
I'm sorry for bringing it up.
No, don't be sorry, it has to be resolved. So I just want you to know it's not ignored, okay?
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that
Yes, ma'am.
very much. I've lived to be 81 years, and I want to enjoy all the years God has planned for me, okay? Not going away from my home, I want to enjoy the home. So thank you all very much.
Anybody else would like to speak?
name is Sharon Macklin, and I just want to say that, for some reason, I don't understand it. When we go to the senior lunch, I finally made it to be a senior. I'm 73 years old, I'm proud of it. And I hear people say, I've been here for 10 years, I've been here 20 years, I've been here 30 years. When my mother left the hospital with me in Garfield Heights, guess where I came to? Oakwood Village. 73 years later, where am I at? Oakwood Village. And I'm proud of this village. I go to the luncheon, and I just don't understand, if they're gonna walk around and talk to you and pass out papers about the charter that they want. If they're gonna pass out papers and talk to you about the charter, it should be on both sides, not just one side doing it. It should be this side and this side doing it. But it's just this side doing it. And people are more or less thinking that I'm telling people stuff. At our table, we don't discuss this. We don't. And it's really upsetting. I've been invited to Bedford Heights senior lunch. I've been invited to Bedford senior lunch, and nobody's in there passing out anything. That's a time for us to get together and have a conversation with us and enjoy our lunch together. Some of these people might not have nobody else to talk to. So this Wednesday is when they talk to people. But why should our time be used up for something else? Let us have our little time. Let us enjoy each other. We're older. We can't get around, well, I can, but we can't get around and do what everybody else can. And people, well, I've been here 20 years, I've been here 30, I've been here, I don't have to live in Oakwood, we'll move. Cause I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. Even when they see on my grill, which will be in a couple of months, I'm gonna say right on Oak here. I'm gonna have some work done in my house and I'm gonna take my shoes off and enjoy my life. But it shouldn't be where they can come there and interrupt us. Not only me, but all of the seniors. And that's not the time to do that. So it shouldn't be done then, no matter how long you live here. No matter what you say. It shouldn't be done then. Let us enjoy each other. How do you know everybody there has somebody to talk to when they get home? You don't. So let them enjoy their people while they're there. Don't interrupt our lunch. Don't interrupt our time. You got other things going on that we can come to and hear this. But if you're going to pass it out for the one side, pass it out for both sides. Since you want to do it, it should be both sides, not just the one side. Because that's not right. I was on the charter review thing, so I know what it's about. But if them people want to know, they need to come to the charter review that you're going to have to explain it to them. But to walk around there and interfere with our little time, it's not fair. It's not. So it shouldn't be done. Let us have our little time. Because, we're getting older. Nobody's promised tomorrow. Nobody's promised the next 10 minutes. Nobody. So let us enjoy it, because if we go home and our 10 minutes is up, then what? Let us enjoy our time. Let us eat together and talk and laugh and get up and go home. Don't interrupt us with all this stuff from what's going on in the village. If you want to know what's going on in the village, bring your butt up here and find out. Because I never came to council meetings, but I come to every council meeting now. Because I learn a lot. I learn a lot. And for somebody to say, well, I've been here 30 years, I don't care. So you've been here 30, I've been here 73, so I got a 43-year seniority over you. So what that mean? My dad paid his house out 5 times. My grandfather was here. So what that mean? Years being here means nothing. It's what you do while you're here that counts. You could be here 999 years. It means nothing if you're not doing anything to help the village get where the village needs to be, or to do what you need to do. So just let us have our time. Let us enjoy our lunch. I don't care how long anybody's been here, because that doesn't matter to me. I know how long I've been here, and I know what I want to do. And I love Oakwood. I left Maple to come back to Oakwood for my kids. And now they're 31, and 28. And my oldest daughter is 52. So they enjoy coming to my house and sitting back in the pool, on the playground, whatever. But let us enjoy ourselves. Let us enjoy our lunch without interference. Please let us do that. Because we don't know how much time we have. We don't know how much time you have. So just let us enjoy our lunch and our company that we're sitting. Everybody has a table. They're sitting at this table. Let them sit at their table. Let them enjoy what they're doing. Let them laugh together. If they want to cry together, let them cry together. But don't come in here with all this politics, because we don't, at that time it's not what we want to hear it. It's not. So I just wish that you would just let us be us, regardless to whatever. Let us be us and leave politics out of our lunch. I'm going to sit down anyway. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I'm Melinda Harper, and I'm the can speak about something else, but I'm the person that she's talking about, so let me address the issue and that be corrected.
Yeah, like you corrected me.
I came to the Oakwood Center for something that had nothing to do with their lunch, had nothing to do with the tables they were sitting at. I had reserved a separate room that was away from that area completely. However, I usually park at the end, I come in the same door. Someone from the first table stopped me because they had heard me speak at one of these meetings, and they asked me. And I was very glad to convey to them all of the things that I felt that were going on. I was glad to answer their questions. They asked me questions. I never approached them. They asked me questions, I answered their questions. They asked me would I be there every Wednesday. Yes, I'm here for a separate and distinct meeting in another part of this building that has nothing to do with your lunch. Will you do X, Y, Z? I told them that I would, and I did. And when I came in to do what I told them that I was gonna do the week before, the person at your table saw me giving them a piece of paper.
I have one.
When I finished with that table and I was going to my meeting in the separate area, someone from your table
called
me.
And you came at me like I did, because you apologized 3 times.
You said that.
You apologized 3 times. I ain't got to talk to you.
Excuse me, let's have order.
I did not interrupt you.
Address council, don't address the audience.
I did not interrupt her.
I didn't say you did. I said when you
I'm
address, when you
finishing
come
what I
in
was,
there, you
I'm
should address
finishing my
council.
sentence.
I interrupted you for a reason. Address council, please,
Okay.
not the audience.
Okay, I'm addressing you. My sentence was, I did not interrupt her on that day. I did not go to that table to interrupt their lunch. I was called to that table by someone who was at that table who demanded to know, well, what paper did you give them? I said, I gave them a paper concerning something that we talked about last week. The lady asked, could she see the paper? She read the paper. Everybody except you, everybody at that table was asking me questions about what is going on with the ordinance, what is on the ballot, because that's why I was there. Not for those people, for a separate group of people in a different part of the building. I answered their questions. That's what I did. And if I go there next Wednesday and somebody calls me and to their table and asks a question, I will answer their question. But it is misrepresented that I entered that place to do that, and that I entered and I interrupted their lunch. No, the person that called me interrupted me. And I do want to say that if it happens next Wednesday and somebody stops me, I will do the same thing that I did. Okay? I understand that we may not have the same opinions. We may not have the same viewpoints. You were at the table. Obviously, I said something to her.
No.
I'm talking to her. I said something to her that offended her, and I apologized for that. Okay? But if you're gonna get up here in this meeting, tell the whole story, not just part of it. Now, can I read what I was gonna read? I prepared something because I know that you all always time me. And so I prepared something, to read. It's less than 5 minutes, so you're gonna have to interrupt me. And this is basically for council, but it is also for the concerned residents who showed up here tonight. Our council, you all are seeking to pass a measure on the ballot that will give you totalitarian control of this village. You want to give yourself the power to fire any elected official, declare a vacancy, and appoint a successor. And us, what do we get? We get to lose our right to vote for the person that we want to represent us. In effect, our votes are nullified. And Ward 5 is already experiencing this as we are stuck with your appointee until December of 2029 because no one in Ward 5 voted for this representative. And so to the concerned resident, who knows when your ward is going to be next? Further, this issue, you buried it on the ballot such that nobody's even going to know what they're voting for. It's a yes or a no. These people don't even know they're not only voting for that ordinance. There's 17 other changes that you made, or 15, or 13. There's no language on the ballot. It's a yes or a no. And I have a sample of the ballot if anyone of the residents would like to see it. Our charter already provides a remedy for removing elected officials, and it's called recall. And it's the voters who say who's in. It's the voters who says who's out. Where council is counting on these residents to be complacent. They're counting on a 35% turnout vote. But they don't think that we read or that we are concerned. They scheduled a meeting to talk about the ordinance and didn't even tell you about it. And then they get up here and tell you they're gonna have the next meeting. They never had a meeting. Because there were some people who showed up, myself included, to actually inform them, you cannot have this meeting. You haven't given the residents any notice about the meeting. You're still advertising on your website that notices about meetings are being put up at Sam's Club. I'm informed that hasn't happened for ages. And in effect, you know, anything that you passed all this time with saying that the notices are at Sam's Club, they can all be questioned. Because you didn't give these people, you didn't give us as the residents adequate notice. I'm telling the residents who are behind me, the first meeting, the very first meeting is April 23rd. The next one is April 30th. Guess when we vote? We vote on May 5th. Come to the April 23rd, April 30th meeting at 6:30. Don't believe me, come to the meeting. And then on Saturday morning, on May 2nd at 10 a.m., come to that meeting too. I bet most of you are just hearing these times for the first time ever. And show up at the next council meeting on Tuesday, April 28th at 7 p.m. And I conclude by saying we should never, ever, ever, ever give anybody control over our vote or our vote. Vote no, vote no, vote no. And council, you get back to the business at hand. Failing school systems, long-standing pothole ditches, property taxes, school levies, liquor licenses. People don't even know that you can go up to the Hawthorne Plaza up there and go in and get a drink. They don't even know it's a bar up there because nobody's told them. Public disturbances at public officials' houses, decent playgrounds. Get back to that business because this ordinance does nothing for us. And I intend to read this at every meeting that we have. Again, I offer my apologies if I did do. Thank you.
Anderson Ward 5. I didn't plan to start with this, but just to piggyback on Ms. Sharon's point, I think when our community gets one side, like vote no, and not why vote yes, and it's not explained to them, I think it is misinformation. So I think it is very important that people hear what the charter used to say, what you plan for it to say, what it'll mean if you vote yes, and the impact if you vote no. I would like to say that I was on council for 10 years, and in 2016 and in 2021, with our previous mayor, when we passed charter changes, there were no community forums. There was no charter information sessions, there was none of that. It was put on the ballot, people voted yes, and both of the things that people are complaining about on that current charter with the, serving out the entire unexpired term, that was passed by the people with no charter information. It was a charter change. So some of the things we're complaining about is actually went to the people and the people voted. So just wanna point out the history there. I did come on some, other, comments. Just wanna back up Mr. Jackson. I've known it to be true for years, but I've been walking the community. There are some pockets in the community that there is just like stashes of litter. It's really bad. It's happened in Ward 5 for a number of years. It's still not being cleaned up. We knocked a house down on Wright Avenue. It's now become a dumping site. So, I mean, these things are not being taken care of. I don't know how we get to solutions. We're just talking about the trash, but not doing anything. And then I'll get to the stockpile of tires, because a resident called me about this notice right before you all started work session, so I wasn't able to contact the Ward 5 council person. But with the community forum about the charter session changes, I would just recommend y'all have a special meeting, and on the special meeting, put discussion of charter changes, and put community input or resident feedback with council discretion, so you can talk about that and y'all all be present, because I heard the last time some of you all had to leave, and I think it's important that you all were there. The audit, I wanted to clarify with the law director. I heard comment about follow-up with the audits. So our regular audit does conclude in an exit interview. The special forensic audit is supposed to conclude in the report. Is that now
I
concluding?
don't believe I commented on that, but normally, the normal audit does have an exit interview.
Right,
The forensic audit, I have no information on that.
okay, so who followed up through that? Who followed up on where the current status?
The mayor and I had a phone conference with the regular auditors and also the special investigator on the forensic.
So is there, the special forensic audit is going to end in an exit interview now?
He did not say that.
Okay, so that ends in what?
We don't know.
So they just basically didn't give you an update at all?
Well, no, he said that it's in the hands, it's being reviewed, okay? But there was only a certain amount of information that he could give out.
Okay.
I can offer some additional information. So in the, he couldn't, because the audit isn't complete, but he explained that there are two different audits. There's one that's criminal and one that's with the forensic. He said the report that would be done from the criminal side, once that report was done, he would share it with us, but that report goes then on to the prosecutor, right? And then the prosecutor would determine if charges were brought. So once it leaves Mr. Clark and his team, it will go to the prosecutor, and they will decide if they're going to indict based on that report. We will have that report, and when we have that report, we will go over it with council. But he told us that we should expect a report, but the finality of that report, with the criminal side, would lie with the prosecutor. Now, the forensics, he didn't have much more to say about that, because he's on the criminal side, but the forensic side, he said the same thing. When they're done, they will give us a report, and they would share it with us, and council will be included.
Thank you. Did you all have that level of detail already, council?
No.
Because I think that's very
We
important.
don't have a level of detail.
All right.
I understand the process with the investigators and the criminal side and whatever. So, we're just waiting to hear the feedback from, I know the state side, always there's an exit on what their findings are.
Right, that's,
And we just need to put something in place with their findings. The investigative side, that's a whole nother different beast and animal.
thank you. I think that level of detail is important to the community. The investigation has been going on nearly 4 years at this point, so, the more detail that can be provided is helpful. And then my last, comment or situation I wanna bring up And, I got a call from a resident right before you all's work session started, and this is a, I don't know if this is a notification, but one of the residents in Ward 5, dumped a tire in a section of where people have been dumping tires for probably my entire time on council. I know specifically in the last 2 years, I had asked if we could put up cameras, we put up cameras, we took them down, but, we said we contacted the railroad and it wasn't on it was just very unclear about whose responsibility this was. But the tires are probably as tall as this ceiling now, they've continued to dump over 2 years. So, not condoning what our resident did in Ward 5, but added 1 tire to it. I was told that someone saw that resident adding that tire to it, dumping a tire, recorded that resident, called the police. That resident was approached and was told that they needed to clean up all the tires and not just the 1 tire, or be arrested. Which sounded to me very unreasonable, given that the tires have been building up for 2 years. And we've been talking about it for a number of years and trying to figure out whose responsibility it is, who's dumping the tires. Now, if this individual has been seen to be dumping numerous tires, that's a different story, but for them to dump 1 tire and then be asked to clean up 2 years worth of tires, I think is pretty unreasonable. And doesn't sound like a fair solution to what they actually did. And then to be, threatened with arrest, I'm not sure that's how we wanna treat our residents. And so, they did call me, asked me to come up because they couldn't make it to the meeting, but were able to make it briefly. Did you wanna come up and talk?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I wasn't involved in the situation, but I was called, so I just wanted to bring it up and confirm these tires have been dumped for a number of years, so I don't know why we would make this our residents' responsibility.
I've been picking up more than tires, and I got a lot of it in my yard. I mean, we had somebody knock down the house, and the stuff was left there was terrible. I took what I could, burned what I could, the metal I kept, and I got it stacked maybe about this high in my yard. And when the police came over, they came over a couple times. They asked me, that you over there dumping it? I dumped 1 tire, I think it was Tuesday, and I dumped another tire the year before, 1 tire that was in the streets. And I had in mind, my son is still carrying on my legacy drag racing, and I got a meeting with a guy that he's going to Paris, his daughter is getting ready to go to college and all that, so is mine, but, he won't be able to get to me until June. And I explained to him, I said, well, look, we talk about these tires in the meeting, and the guy said, hey, that tire company said, come, give me until June, and I'll invite you down and we'll talk about it. Because what they do at tire companies, they'll take these tires and shred them up. They'll come get them and shred them up. And they use that compound, get some kind of oil out of them that the guys use at all the drag shows. They don't make other tires. A lot of people think they'll cut them up and burn and make other tires. So the guy told me, he said, well, that tire you just threw on that pile, you should have put it in this pile with the stuff you got. I'm trying to explain to the guy, I'm holding my hands just like this, and I'm talking to him. You don't want a bunch of tires in your yard with the mosquitoes and the water that hangs in them. And he just tell me, look, you got into a project, all these tires up. I don't charge you. I'm gonna arrest you or whatever, I don't know. But, hey, I love Oakwood Village. And I just think, the guy kept telling me well, I don't live here. I was here when you had the fire, and wouldn't I help to you? I come help your ass. That's how he talk. Excuse my language. But that's how he talk.
May I say something? Just a minute, we're not gonna resolve this on the floor. And the captain is here. So, that's the authority.
Okay.
So we can't resolve it we have to be cognizant of what is happening, and we're gonna ask the captain to get involved and deal with the problem, okay?
Well,
So we're gonna refer it to the captain. If you'd like, Captain Freeman, at this point, and if you wanna be excused or wait until the meeting is over, if he's willing to talk with you. I don't know police procedure, and so we're going to respect the process, and we go with the process again. You have a right to be concerned, and you have a right to come to us, but in an open forum, it can't be resolved. But I would ask you to have a conversation with the captain, all right? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Right.
I'd just like to respond to this unique situation. As the building department, we did go out and we addressed this last summer. Formal Council Lady Hill and I went through the whole entire Ward 5, and this was on the list. I do have photos of those tires being there for a long period of time. Also to address our Oakwood finest along with
Roland,
the,
this is not appropriate. We can't resolve it here.
I'm not talking about resolving it, I'm just saying as a building department,
Okay.
we had addressed this last year, that's the only thing that I.
The fact that there were a lot of them already there? Is that
Yes,
your point?
that's
Okay.
it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, what was your point? So,
That was it.
all right. Councilperson Sam?
No, I just wanted to see that Mr. Rowland would be able to finish his
That's okay.
statement.
Did you finish what you had to say?
I'm fine, I just wanted to say that we looked into it last year and I have photos of the tires, that was
Gotcha.
it.
And that would be important to the captain.
My question is,
What? You're free to speak.
if, you say you were approached by a police officer, correct?
Yeah, came to the house twice.
You said that if that was the case, would those, or would that, or whatever you would like to call it, be dropped against him?
It's dumping. It's called illegal dumping, which is a crime.
But,
So,
but
that's-
he'll take down all those tires.
Well, that's the option. Yes, I'll talk to him, but that was the option he was given. And it wasn't with the threat of arrest, but we don't arrest for dumping. We'll cite you, it's gonna go to court. So, he could have just cited him and tell him not to clean it up. Then you get a company to come in and clean it up, and then they'll put a restitution on the case. So, I'll talk with him, we'll get it resolved, but at the end of the day, it's illegal dumping, okay? So.
That's understandable. And I'll reach out to you as well, get that figured out.
All right, thank you, thank you.
That was where it needed to go. Thank you. All right.
To the chair, to council, to me. My name is Cynthia Gray. Piggybacking on what I've heard here as far as, I too looked at my ballot. I remember sitting in the charter, the initial charter meeting before the committee was established. And I know that we did, I was at probably about 3 or 4 of those meetings prior to the committee and then the things coming out. And in those 3 or 4 meetings that I know I personally attended, we were told at that point that we would be able to see all of the final changes that were coming out. I understand that we're gonna have some meetings that are coming up. What I am asking personally for every single council person here and the mayor is for all the changes that are gonna be on that are included in that yes, no, if all those be in your newsletters prior
Yes.
to.
It wasn't in my newsletter, but.
No, I'm
sorry.
I'll yield it to you.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
So my request is that every council person and the mayor and on the Oakwood website, and any other place that we communicate, that every single one of those changes be made apparent, so that when we're being asked yes or no to all changes, that we understand and we know what every single one of those changes are. I remember when we went through it, a lot of them were grammatical, right? But I also know that there is one, I don't know the word specifically because I don't have it in front of me, but it says something to the fact that elected officials can be removed. That one I think is important enough that people really should see that and understand. And I know at the meetings you're gonna talk about it, but people, like the young man said, even on the YouTube, you know, all of the changes should be on there so that people understand that if you say yes or if you say no, you are saying yes or no to all of this. And I think you also mentioned it too, somebody mentioned it, that both sides should be discussed. So in transparency, and I believe everybody here wants transparency, that every single change means, I would have preferred that it was on the ballot so we could vote for each one. But it's not. And I, to be honest, I have to put on record that I was disappointed when I saw just yes or no, because I remember some of the changes that we were talking about, even in those pre-sessions, and it felt like some of those were valid and important enough that if we're talking about changing the document, it is basically the Bible for our community, and we're being asked as voters to vote on those things, that it should not have been just a yes or no. Now, that ship has sailed, is already done, is already on the ballot, and as it stands right now, I can't tell anybody else I vote, but I would say I would be voting no for that, because it wasn't broken out. And that's not to say that a lot of the stuff I wouldn't have agreed with, but because it's not broken out, I have no choice but to vote. Those are my comments. I'm asking if it be made transparent in everybody's newsletter before the election, on the website, on the YouTube, on the mayor's newsletter, anywhere that we are sending anything, a special mail into every household.
Special mailing went out, and as you leave out.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it. Okay, hold on, and on the back, the actual charter is there, and the changes are listed, where the gentleman is standing.
Oh, okay. So I got here late, I must have missed the announcement that it was all back here.
Exactly.
And a redline version of the charter, the changes, with at least 2 spots on the website.
Okay.
And there's a sample ballot back there if anyone wanted to see the actual ballot.
Excellent. Thank you.
And we try to keep it stocked, but I noticed today the supply is dwindling, so
So if we get this in those additional places as well, because we see how many people are here tonight, and it's not enough to say that the community is not. I know the tape.
No, it should be coming out.
And if there was a special mailing, I can say I did not get it. And I think the councilman over there said he didn't get it. I put you on the spot, but when I said I didn't say it.
Mr. Cotton just pointed out that what you all have here is a Ward 2 Democratic ballot, and it may be fair to put out the Republican side of that, or get all wards, or get all wards, because this is only Ward 2.
I think the only interest here though is the charter. I think everybody has their own, I got a sample ballot, so
Right, but I'm
everybody-
saying,
yeah.
I have my sample ballot too.
Right, so I don't think that
The
what
charter is right
we're
there.
addressing the letter here, but the sample ballot, whether that's Ward 2 or not, that's not the people's issue. The issue is number 33 that addresses, I have plenty of copies, thank you.
And the changes are there too. A single sheet of the changes.
But when it comes to the sample ballot, the only issue we're concerned about is the charter change.
So everybody knows. I know everybody believe in transparency.
And that's on
So
everybody.
let's be transparent.
Right.
Okay, yes ma'am, would you like to give your name please?
Yes, my name is Valina Terrell.
Yes ma'am.
I am Ward 5. And, the only thing, it's an engineering problem, I think. The only, every time it rains, I live on Free Avenue, and every time we have a major storm, it floods terribly on the street. In front of my house, about 3-story houses down, and then at the end of the street where the company is, it is terrible. You have to, I feel bad for the people that have to walk down that street, because they're gonna get drenched. Or they will have to have boots waders almost to walk down the street, because the water is not flowing through properly. So if someone could look into that and find out why our street floods so terribly, because it's a very, very annoying, and it can be a safety issue too, especially for anyone, children or whatever, walking down the street.
Thank you. Tommy would like to respond.
Just talking to Matt, the city engineer, and, I don't know about down Camden Street, but toward the front of the street, close to, Forbes Road, we think there's some type of blockage underneath where the empty lot is, where the company used to be there. We had a company out about 2 years ago, and it did a little good, but it's not right, so, Matt's gonna, reach out to the, county sewer department, which we have a contract with, to look into that.
But that doesn't,
No, that's just a side,
that's the end of the street.
yeah, that's the entrance.
But I'm
Yeah.
midways down. the
Yeah, we'll
street.
take a look at that, but I don't know, I don't have
It's
a,
real bad.
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Thank you. Are there any other comments?
I'll be really quick. Just want to introduce myself. I'm Damien Kristoff. I'm the new branch manager of the Bedford Library. So I just want to say hi. You're part of our service area as well, so we'd like to extend and offer our services as much as we can down here as well. So thank you.
Where's the lady that comes all the time?
That's me, though, I guess. And we do offer classes on the internet and YouTube, so we can help with that
I'm
as
not
well.
answering. She's gone?
Hey, are you talking to Ebony? Or Janaea?
She wasn't a branch manager.
Oh, is it Sylvia?
Sylvia.
Sylvia's still there. Sylvia will still be coming from time to time.
All right, don't do anything to Sylvia.
No, Sylvia's great.
All right. Thank you for coming. Thank you, sir. Just let you know, Sylvia's doing a great job.
Glad to hear it.
All right, thank you. Any other comments? All right. If
I know.
not-
Well, when people have a safe.
Yes, sir.
Ship it in here.
Yes, yes.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, villagers, village of Oakwood residents. Good evening to council. Good evening to the mayor. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Couple things, two main topics. The first one is Mr. Jackson. I'm kind of upset he's actually gone. But to his point, I did go through Bedford Heights. That's where my parents live in Bedford Heights, and they actually have incorporated some signs to where they say rubbish cans must be removed. You know, maybe the day after trash is picked up. I'm assuming that will have to be an ordinance that we have to maybe look into. I don't know how that will conflict with our signage amendment that we also just did for the election, but maybe some type of notifications that we could put out to let people know, hey, you know, we're serious about this, clean up, you know, be a little bit more proactive. We want to keep Oakwood looking nice. So something of that nature, I would hope that we can look into to see if that would be something that we can move forward, to kind of keep the presence, the appearance of Oakwood, you know, kind of up. To other points I'm hearing as well, with trash and with water, I do live on North Lane, and it does seem to be a super bottleneck even back where I'm at in North Lane. I know my neighbor who moved a while ago had you guys dig out the culverts because there was so much water that was flowing from the new construction behind North Lane, and in addition to all the water that comes from Wright and Free, it seems to be like a midpoint there. And it gets so bad to the point to where sometimes I can't even see the street at all, because literally my property is the creek is here, and then from across the street, it's collecting all that water from up top, is flowing down. All the water from Free and North Lane is also flowing down. It's kind of meeting right there on top of the issues on Free. So, and then with that, there is a lot of trash that just kind of happens to kind of funnel through. I'm gonna look into this. I cannot remember what it was, but I believe the city of Cleveland or the water department has some type of sewer trash catching nets that kind of, we can put them in certain places. I know it's gonna cost money and nobody likes that, but it may be something that we want to look into to catch a lot of debris before it flows through the neighborhood. Because literally, after a big rain, you can come outside and on either side of the street, you see garbage, you see cans. So, that may be something else that we may have to look into. I don't know if you were aware of something like that.
Where would you put it when you, to catch it?
So that would just depend on kind of low spots, maybe parts of culverts and creeks and whatnot, having maybe some type of netting system, so, in that way it just catches some of that excess. So,
We do see trash tracks occasionally on larger culverts. The problem is that they become obstructions in and of themselves, and then the trash can cause drainage problems upstream of them, so those are difficult to.
Is it tricky? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I know everybody's ready to wrap up. So one, kind of going back to a little bit more of, transparency and what people are asking for. We keep hearing constant concern here with our residents. There's public concern here. We have some charter changes that's coming up that can be a little bit conflicting, and it's all in one. I am a little upset that it's all just a yes or a no, especially when there's so many items on this chart. And it kind of puts us in a kind of a trick bag, so to speak, because we have spent a lot of time, and I sat in that seat for Ward 5 for many meetings. And, remove myself from what I was doing to be present, and to have that possibly all be for naught, because we included it all in one big bundle, it's kind of disappointing. So I want to make sure that, we go on record and say that I know we're trying to bring awareness to the residents, but if residents are able to come to those meetings, or know about those meetings, or don't know how to ask the right questions, we're gonna have some more upset people, and you guys will have a lot more work to do. So we have to do it all over again, right? That kind of brings us to the charter amendment. And well, I guess I haven't touched it already, so we'll go with that. The fourth thing, there is a public duty. I know our residents, we would like to believe that, that you all have everything under control. And you do have a pretty good grasp on things, but there's also a call to action from us as residents. We're gonna have to be informed, we're gonna have to be in the know, and sometimes that does involve extra time to go vote and extra levies being passed in order for us to get things done that we need to get done. So I wanna make sure that we are aware of that and not just come in here and say what we want done without understanding that it may cost us some things too. So I just want everybody to be aware of that. And in regards to the Ward 5 situation, I did propose a resolution that would indeed be free, not cost the village any money, and I feel like it is a very amicable situation. And I would like to move forward with something that would not cost us any time or any money in order to have transparency and for our residents to feel like their voices are being heard. So I know this is a lot going on, it's a lot of moving pieces. Mayor passed away, situations happen. It's our job to kind of pick up those pieces as best as we can. So I'm asking that we do a bit of a better job and maybe open this door of communication up a little bit more so we can go ahead and move this thing forward and talk about village business instead of having this, kind of infighting, so to speak. So with that, I will yield my time and hope you all have a great night. Thank you.
I'm sorry. We'll close the floor for public comments, and we'll go into the legislation.
Thank you, Madam President. First item on the agenda is formal work session work session 4, which is now 2026 to 27. An emergency ordinance authorizing the village engineer to prepare plans and specifications to advertise for bids and proceed with road repairs on various streets within the village. Next item on the agenda is former work session 5, now ordinance 2026-30, a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the Northeast Area-Wide Coordinating Agency for Cleveland Urbanized Area Federal Transit Administration funding from the Enhanced Mobility of Senior and Individuals with Disabilities Section 5310 program and declaring an emergency. I'm losing my audience.
You gotta start tap dancing.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Next item is former work session 6, now ordinance 2026-28. A resolution accepting funding awards from the Cuyahoga County under the 2026 Community Development Supplemental Grant Program, the 2026 Community Development Block Grant Program, and authorizing the engineer to begin the preparation of plans and specifications and to advertise for bids for the first place pavement improvement Phase 2 project in the village of Oakwood and declaring an emergency. Next item on the agenda is former work session 2026-8, now ordinance 2026-29. An ordinance authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the Cuyahoga County Soil and Water Conservation District and the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to provide technical assistance regarding public information and public education and declaring an emergency. Next item, former work session 2026-9, now ordinance 2026-33, a resolution authorizing all actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council Energized Community Grants. Next item on the agenda, ordinance 2026-12, that's work session 2026-12. Now ordinance 2026-31, a pay ordinance concerning the employment of Rodney Stevens as part-time code enforcement, housing and building inspector, and setting forth the duties and compensation for the position and declaring an emergency. And the final item on the agenda, ordinance 2020, work session 2026-13, now ordinance 2026-32, a pay ordinance authorizing the employment of Laura Sawinski as part-time building permit technician secretary and setting forth the duties and compensation for the position and declaring an emergency. And mercifully, that concludes, I'm sorry. Next item, ordinance 2026-22, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between the village of Oakwood and the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 67 through the end of the year 2028 and declaring an emergency. And this is on third reading.
No.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry, second reading. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And now I think it concludes with this.
Council okay with the second reading? This is 2026-22 is on second reading. We'll leave it on second reading. The next meeting will be on third reading.
Nothing can happen with it.
That's fine. Yeah, okay. All right.
So at our next council meeting, it will be on third reading,
Correct.
and then council,
Either pass it, fail it, or table it.
Okay, I'm confused on how that works. Because it was on the work session and it went to the agenda without being voted on.
That was
So there was never a vote.
There was never a vote to move it from work session to the agenda.
If the minutes reflect that that's the case, then this should be considered the first reading. So we need to go back and check the minutes.
Okay, the minutes will reflect what was in the topic. Okay. And we will make that correction. So it will be on the next agenda, second reading. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. At the next meeting, we will correct, but it will be on the second reading. All right? Everybody, minds clear? Any other questions? All right. We have a motion to adjourn. Hello? Are we okay? All four of them. There's a motion.
Quick question, sorry. Is there any way to, for the charter amendment, can we have like a legend that kind of represents what the changes are?
They're all right there, son. It's all on the back.
No, I have one, so I.
No. All the changes are there.
It's in the
There should be,
It's a separate one that shows the.
Inside the packet.
there should be a summary of this version.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
You see it?
I do, but
It's in the
it's,
center, it's not at the front, it's at the center.
It's a separate,
Right.
like it's a separate piece of paper.
okay, so I guess people are concerned about some of the changes are green, and some are red, and some are yellow. I don't know if that's a printer thing, but like I said, I seen that maybe we can have some type of a key on the front that kind of,
It should be on the black one.
yeah, it's definitely green.
I'm not sure, there must be a print.
Can we see what you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we finish our agenda?
Adjournment.
There's a motion on the floor to adjourn. May I have a second, please? May I have a second to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, roll call. Roll call.
Councilperson Sims,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Bliss,
Yes.
Councilman Harder,
Yes.
Councilman Matlock,
Yes.
Councilman Warren.
Yes.
All right, the meeting is adjourned. Come on, Mr. Astor.